Hello, my name's Andy Law. Welcome to my living room where we gather every week to play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay for LAWhammer. So, this is our second attempt going live. I'm not even sure if we've got the sound going.
Audible.
We are apparently audible. So
that could just be an ad.
Looks like we're good to go. Alrighty, we have got one hell of an episode lined up for you because it is the conclusion to the Horned Rat section of The Enemy Within, at least our conclusion. And it's fair to say that last week with episode, what, was 57 as I recall? We didn't conclude anything that came from episode 56 the week before.
No.
So we have both episodes to kind of resolve today. How's that going to work? What on earth is going to be happening with, for example, Alamein, who was apparently pulled out of the wreckage of the hold by Felix Jaeger, of all people? Or alternatively, our glorious heroes, who are apparently split in two. What is going on?
Twain.
Well, the answer to that will be revealed through the course of this episode. Indeed, it's worth noting that we also had a poll up regarding what happened at the end of last episode. So that was the Cannons of Nuln. That's your poll, well done. The Cannons of Nuln. And the poll was asking the all-important question of who were not who they appeared to be during the course of that episode.
And they were led like sheep.
Led like sheep, apparently. So, who would like to call out who it was that was marked out? Because it's been pretty much the same all the way from the beginning.
You mean the vote? Who's
Yeah,
won
the
the
vote.
vote?
It was...
It's a win.
It's a win thing.
Yeah, so who won the vote?
Elric and Gerhardt.
Yes!
Now, the question is...
One of the most shady votes.
Was everyone right? Were Elric and Gerhardt the big fakeoids down in Nuln?
So I'm
We're
just
gonna
marking a
find
fake
out.
point on my cat. On my
Yeah, no, you're not. You're going to find out through the course of this episode. Hopefully by the end it will all make sense, assuming that the PCs do what PCs normally do. And we never can be sure about
Go
that.
off task.
Yes. Most importantly, because this is the conclusion for the Horned Rat, there's one big change that we're going to have from this point onwards. We are resolving our duplicate plot lines. Today is the last day where we're going to have worries about is someone or is someone not a duplicate. By the end of this episode, we'll know. And we can then plough on past the Horned Rat into the somewhat ominously named conclusion. The Empire in Ruins.
Slightly askew.
And
Fine.
it'll be fine.
We can do that.
Doesn't say which empire.
Yeah.
Could be Cathay.
Could be the dwarves.
Could be the Under Empire, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. So for anyone who has read the Empire in Ruins book, do not expect anything in that book to occur in our version. Because there's three words that I want to particularly focus upon, that our version will focus upon, that the printed version didn't. Just three words. Empire, in, ruins.
Sick burn.
Yeah, that's going to happen. So our empire is potentially, as it currently stands, heading towards disaster. Why? Well, the real reason behind it will all come clear through the course of this episode. At least the real reason as far as LAWhammer is concerned. Our particular take on everything. Right, so we have a few things that we need to resolve before we get going. Number one is I said there's going to be a GM blog coming up about what was happening last week.
I lied.
No, I didn't. It's all written already. It's over 12,000 words. It's proper bonkers. 12,000 words worth of GM blog is done. Now, I said I was going to put it up on Saturday. That's tomorrow if you're watching live. I've changed my mind. I'm going to put it up on the Tuesday so that everyone gets an opportunity to watch the episode when it goes out to everybody in the video on demand on the Monday. So I'm going to wait for everyone to see it because some people will not be able to resist reading that blog before they watch the episode. And it will completely spoil this episode to come because it's going to be full of some of the decisions that the PCs made last episode influencing what's happening in this episode. And I'd rather you weren't spoiled. So I'm going to release that blog on the Tuesday. So that's next Tuesday for the big GM blog from hell for episode number 57. Thank you. Good hand gestures. You be a natural handyman.
I'm making up some ASL.
Good job. Okay, so that's that. That's our GM blog. The next one is the inevitable if you haven't already checked what's going on in the bottom corner of our screen just now, where Dark Deeds just rolls away. If you haven't bought that yet, seriously, are you even watching our channel? Go buy Dark Deeds. And if you have already, I have an additional request. If you could please pop over to boardgamegeek.com, pretty please, and drop a review. Be honest, drop your actual opinions, we're cool with that. We all know it's 10 out of 10. But if it isn't, that's okay, cool, because all we need is reviews. In fact, we need over 100 of them over on the website. And currently we only have about a third of that. So if you could drop over there and not be like the person who said that the last bunch of people I sent over there was bots. I went, I think these are all bots, so I'm giving it 1 star. You can find that review on BoardGameGeek.com right now. They haven't played the game, they just went, I'm giving you 1 star.
We think they're really fun at parties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super fun at parties.
Yeah, that was me.
It was Dan. 100% Dan. So, please do give us a review. Beyond that, there is no Inside the Rookery. For those of you who always expect Andy to come up with some beautifully posed words for you all. No Inside the Rookery this Saturday because we're on our mid-season break. But for those of you who like World Anvil, Lindsay and I are going to be co-hosting the World Anvil Awards on the Saturday instead. So this Saturday evening, Dimmy, Janet, Lindsay and I will be handing out prizes to all of the most exemplarious, and I am making up words because it has to be particularly fabulous. I can, because I can.
It's a world building site.
It is indeed. It's a word building site sometimes too. Because after all, who doesn't want to name their kingdom the kingdom of Ooglablog? Yeah, totally. So we're going to be handing out awards to the very best World Anvil. What we're going to call them?
Contributors.
Sites? Contributors? Yeah, that's
Creators.
perfect. Creators, thank you. See, Lindsay was paying attention to the brief. Creators.
It's
And-
like the Oscars, isn't it?
It is. It's like the World Anvil Oscars. And we're going to be there in a suit. Yes.
Not a posh frock.
Well, no, I'm in a suit.
I'm just going to be wearing a bow tie.
I'm going to have a bow tie. Just a bow tie.
Surprise me.
So if you want to see Lindsay in just a bow tie, that's tomorrow for the World Anvil Awards.
That took a turn.
Other than that, that thing that we should always say every week, and we only say about every 20 shows, please do remember to like, subscribe, press thumbs up,
Tell all
and
your
just
friends.
generally tell everyone to come and watch us. Because you are what makes our show work. Without you, we wouldn't have all these silly mics and cameras and lights and action and all that nonsense. So thank you all to all of our existing patrons, and for anyone who's coming much later, watching this maybe a year down the line,
Here's your money.
thank you even more so for contributing right then, future, now, whatever. So,
There's no time in the ether.
there is no time in the eighth year. Let's go with that. Who would like some XP?
Me.
Okay, let's dive into our XP. XP for last episode. We did interestingly well. And by that, we all made some incredibly important decisions. You all know your individual decisions. You don't know what everybody else chose. Some of you might be a little bit aware of what they might have chosen or not. Some of you have more idea of who were traitors and weren't. But by the end of this episode, you'll be fully aware of at least most, but if not all, of the choices. All of them bar, I would suggest, maybe 1 or 2. We'll see. But we did get a conclusion, and that conclusion was that the Countess has decided that she is going to side with Middenheim.
With Katrina or with Boris?
She's going to side with Middenheim. Now, whether it is Katerina, or whether it is Boris, or whether it's something else, that's yet to be determined. Indeed, exactly how this manifests is yet to be determined. But we do know that a decision was reached. And that was a decision that you 100% influenced. You were the ones that made this happen as players, if not necessarily as PCs, depending upon how you want to look at it, because we're playing very different PCs today. Or are we?
We don't know, Andy.
We don't know. It's too much.
115 each.
115?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
150.
nice. Everybody goes quiet as they do maths.
Yeah, I figured that I'd give you a
That's
moment
why I've
just
got
to
my calculator.
run on that one.
Follow my fingers.
So,
We're not allowed to calculate, you know.
115.
our
don't
epic
have
conclusion
penis.
for the Horned Rat. It's obviously going to end our Horned Rat version on the whole skaven thing going down the drain, right? Because you are epic heroes. So, as they are working out their math, let's move into episode 58. The Rise of the Horned Rat! The sky is black. But there's a reason it's black. It's not because there's no stars in the sky. There is. It's because it's the skaven sitting down in the cavern, looking up. It's looking. And skaven eyesight is terrible. Exceptional in the dark, but not exceptional long vision. They can't see the stars in the sky, but it can see the great glowing orb of Morsleep. The skaven is hunkered down, almost reverential, beneath this great symbol of the Horned Rat. It is the Horned Rat's eye upon the world, and it doesn't want to be seen. One does not want to be seen by the Horned Rat. It cringes and it waits, excited, because tonight is the night. It always gets a bit confused when it comes up to the surface, how bright it can get, and also how dark it can get, and then how bright it gets, and then how dark it gets, and it doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason. At the moment, it's dark, and it's in this dark that it's going to happen, and indeed, it does. A flash of light into the sky. A single green beam. Chartreuse flyer licking at the edges of it. It goes right underneath Morsleep. The Chaos Moon. The sign! It has come! Excited, it skitters off and finds its drum. A big, wide kettle with stretched orc skin. And it takes out its beater with its tail. And starts bang, bang, bang 3 times. Pause. Bang, bang, bang 3 times. Pause. And then the tail. Again. Bang, bang, bang 3 times. Pause. And then it stops. And it listens. Its ears pricking. And it hears in the distance. Bang, bang, bang of the drum. Boom, boom, boom of another. Boom, 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 boom. As it starts to spread. The invasion has begun. Elsewhere, shaking away is a grey seer. His left horn keeps bashing against a grate. It was a bad idea to come on this. How had everything gone so wrong? As it shakes away. How had everything gone so wrong? Its plan was perfect. Its plan had been blessed by the Horned Rat. Its plan was impossibly brilliant. The best plan that had ever been created by any Grey State. He was going to be sitting on the Council of the 13. But something went wrong as he sits there shaking. Bang! As his horn hits the side again. His horns are a blessing from the Horned Rat. Keeps on hitting them when he goes through caves. And it's worse when he's in this thing. Fire trails through the sky. Green fire. As a rocket flies. In the front, the engineer, the pilot, is attempting to steer the thing. The big rusted grate at the front, flecks of rust going into his whiskers. He doesn't have a windscreen, he didn't really think that wind would be a problem up here. Turns out it is. He does have goggles, though, thank goodness. Skaven eyesight, perfect, as we've established. He can't see a thing. He's just waiting for something to appear before him to avoid. Fortunately, mountains are big and white. Yanking as inside. Tonk as his horn hits on the other side the helmet of one of the storm vermin who's curled up in the circular tube that they're all in. The storm vermin turns round to immediately say something, realises who he's talking to, and says nothing, and stomps his foot down instead, goes through the rocket.
Amazing.
Claw goes. He screams. The horned Skaven twists round, finds he can't because his horns are stuck. So doesn't say what he wants to say. Everything has gone wrong. It was perfect. He had his cannon pointed up out the crater's mouth of the volcano. Morsley was coming. He was so excited. He was giddy. To his side, Clan Mor's warlord, who was going to witness his moment of victory. That stupid sword he liked to carry around with everywhere. Terrifying. No, not terrifying. It would only be terrifying to a lesser Skaven. That stupid sword that would only be held by a weak individual. The Clan Mor's warlord was watching on, and he hadn't tried to assassinate him yet. The Grey Seer, that is. His enemies had clearly failed. Indeed, he had captured one of his greatest enemies, Grasek, that fool who thought he could lead Clan Scrutins, that fool from Middenheim, who had been captured by another fool, Thankwall. He captured him from Thankwall because he's a fool, unlike him. He was a genius. And Grasek was captured and wrapped round in warpstone in the centre of this cannon. His moment of ascension was to come. He was looking up, and then, instead of it going that way, it came from over there.
Oops.
He sits there shaking in the rocket. How had this happened? It blown out from his left-hand side. And he can remember praying to the horned rat. Why have you done this? You wanted me to succeed here. Why have you allowed this to occur? And then he realised it had come from Grasek's lab. Grasek had somehow betrayed him!
Absolutely.
What had Grasek done? And he looked directly into the heart of this warp cannon. As the magic hit it and exploded down its length into the warp stone, and the beam went early. Pew!
Happens.
Decades of warpstone. All he could think of as his claws went up to his horns and set all of his little bells and dingly little triskly horned rat symbols jangling. All he could think of was all of the backers in Skaven Blight who had sent him all of the warpstone. What was he going to say? Because all over the old world they were looking up to the heavens right now. He was going to strike just like he had done 2 centuries earlier. Now, his idea of 2 centuries is not necessarily the same as yours. And they had made a great blessing of the horned rat to spit down across the old world, but this time it was bigger. So much bigger. He thought the entire old world would be covered with the blessings of the horned rat. But nothing's happened. As he looks over, and it gets worse, because he's wrong. Something has happened. Grasek is blowing up in front of him and somehow becoming a blessed servant of the horned rat. As he realizes immediately that he's being tested by the horned rat. And he has to show how strong Clan Mor's is, so he immediately orders them to attack, while he allows them to attack and decides he will observe them from elsewhere. Brilliant plan as he skites off, ordering them forward. There is a certain level of uncertainty from the very well-trained Clan Mor warriors who realise that That's probably some sort of... That's the horn... What is? Some attack, some do not. Rats start rising everywhere. Not a problem for a grey seer. Oh no. He goes off, ordering a few of the storm vermin who are behind him to follow with him. Scampers down the corridors, falls down to all fours more than once. No, he's not scared, but there's no more squirting left from his... No, he doesn't want to think about that. As he runs along and then finds himself in the lower corridor. He is a cunning skaven. The most intelligent of all skaven that have ever existed. He has more than one-way route. More than two-way routes. More than three. He's so scared. There's a big, huge Grassic there with Grassic's face swirling an enormous weapon around him. How had Grassic ascended like this? Grassic is a failure, an idiot! And he sits there for quite some time, just being petrified before he realizes he has to get out fast. So he runs for escape plan number 12, the rocket. He does not want to be here. Escape plan number 12, the rocket. Everything has gone wrong. The rocket. Clatter, 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 clatter. Bang! Oh, yeah! As he tries to twist his head round and shout at the engineer at the front of this rocket. But he can't move his head round. And then he looks down. Of course, he'd received the blessing of the horned rat. He was, in fact, blessed. Because as he had run through that cavern, using his Clan Moor storm vermin to clear a path through all of the rats, as they cleared the path, before him was a gift. Not like that idiot warlord of Clan Moors, who had a stupid blade that no sensible skaven could carry. Far too wide, far too big. No, a far more slender blade. A blade of the horned rat, indeed. It glowed with the horned rat's power. He ran forward, skittered forward in his excitement. He had the horned rat's blessing. Everything was going well. And he pulled it up. And the runes glowed green. And he ran. And he sits there, looking at it on his lap. He has the blessing of the horned rat. It's not bad. A small, blocky, square rune. Another one with a cross across it. He wondered what sort of arcane mark this was. Was it a new clan symbol? What had the what had the horned rat given him? He looks at it and he sort of slides it across his lap so that he can see a bit more of what it does. As he does, the blade passes through the front of the rocket. Through the seat of the engineer at the front without any resistance at all. He has no awareness of this as the pilot goes, "Wah!" and is gone. And the rocket begins to spin. "Ah, conk, conk! Ah, conk, conk! What was happening? How had it all gone so wrong?" As the rocket goes down. That was 4 days ago. 2 of his storm vermin survived alongside him. It was, all in all, a very successful escape. An absolutely successful escape. And since then, just as he had planned, everything had turned out right. Admittedly, and he didn't like to admit this, when he first arrived, he found his force, all the skaven that he had, ready to attack. The half-things, Warrens, had attacked. They weren't supposed to, until Morsleep had spat, until the horned rat had provided them blessing. The idiots had attacked when they hadn't received the right signal. And he had killed a lot of individuals in an attempt to try and find the one responsible. But now he thought it was the right thing, because they were winning. They were doing really well. And even more importantly, they had captured an assassin. An elf. The Grey Seer marches backwards and forwards. A wide pair of horns with little bells. One horn on the right side is chipped badly. Little triangular skaven symbols sitting upon it. He wears long black robes and holds in his hand Barakul.
That was a sword.
The scabbarded Barakul. In his hands. He has learned. You're meant to keep it in its box. If you don't keep it in its box, the blessing of the horned rat can cause problems. But the horned rat had taught him this, so he keeps it very tightly inside its box and holds it with both of his paws quite firmly to ensure the horned rat blessing doesn't escape before he's ready to inflict it upon someone who has crossed him. As he marches backwards and forwards, Alamein is tied up in a mixture of rusted chains and leather, and she is naked. In front of her,
Friday.
well done. In front of her is Karak Skygg, also in its scabbard. Skaven thinks this is a pathetic cursed weapon. A pathetic
Well,
cursed
I'll
weapon
take it back then. I'm okay
that
with
would
that.
only be used by idiots. Because indeed the last idiot to wield it, who thought it was blessed, is now dead. He has been telling you about how much that Skaven warlord is an idiot for the last 4 hours, as his forces, somewhere distant, are fighting. But apparently he has grown bored of this. As he comes to a halt, opens up, looks at the blade, puts it back in again, and holds the blessing of the horned rat tight and looks at you. Assassin killer. How? Your master's plan has failed! Failed! And looks around at the other clan, the surviving 2 clans, more storm vermin, blessed by the horned rat, and the far more important clan, Scruton storm vermin, who are off to the other side, significantly superior. They wouldn't have died in that escape plan. And looks at you. And you are in trouble. Hey, some part of you thinks that you've fully succeeded. Both blades, they're right there in front of you. Job done! This is what we were looking for. But, no, you're wrapped up in chains as he goes off and fortunately starts another one of his diatribes. This time discussing about how your master's plan had failed because apparently he thinks your master is the weak fool Thanquol! Yes, weak fool idiot! He says in Reichspiel. He learnt that you spoke Reichspiel. He had tried speaking Elvish. No. No. He didn't know any Elvish. Literally none.
Okay.
He didn't know a word of Eltharine, but it didn't stop him trying to show his superiority. But instead he went to the man-thing language, which apparently he knows pretty well. And he thinks you're an agent of Thanquol. And he starts explaining why Thanquol's plan is only the plan an idiot would use. And you sit there and let the spittle, the musk, and the words wash over you. Wondering how you got here? Well, that's a different question. And we had a big long discussion about this as to how to deal with what happens with Felix, Gotrek, Alamein as they get here. We're going to write a short story. We decided that we're going to write our own little Felix and Gotrek tale for this to determine what happens between the hold and here. All you need to know is how it came to an end. And there you were, out on a flat area. Let's call it an upper valley, flat part of the Middle Mountains. It's frickin' freezing. The snow is almost solid, frozen in place, super crunchy. Over there is Felix, with his arms folded, looking really disapproving. Gotrek has what could only be described as one of the grumpiest faces you've ever seen on a dwarf. He has his axe in his hand, and he keeps on with his one good eye side-eyeing you. Felix says, I understand, he says, but we can't just leave her here. We can't. We're in the middle of nowhere. I owed her a demon. I have given her a demon. And there's only one thing I hate more than demons. The bloody elves. He says, I'm done with that. Done. Look. And he points over to where you've got, in your hands, Karak Zornaz, scabbarded.
As he looks at it and points at it, I'll pull it.
Pull out Karak Zornaz.
Put it back in.
Put it back in. A flash
As
of
if to
blue
say,
light.
look at the runes.
Um,
These are dwarven.
Felix takes that and goes, oh, I understand, but it is, they're dwarven weapons. And she's trying to get one of them back for, and he shakes his head. Empire business. He says, they can't look after their swords. It's their fault. He says, not mine. I'm done. And he starts making his way over to the Spirit of Grugny, which is sitting there with a bunch of slayers looking over the side. One of them, a pair of goggles up on his forehead, says, "Did anyone hear you?" Like that.
I'm sure he says it.
To which Gotrek goes, aye. And starts surprisingly nimbly making his way up the ladder. Felix looks over, collapses slightly, and crunches through the snow and says, well, I'm sorry I tried.
I'll pull my scarves down slightly. It's all right. You're a good man.
Now, you might not realise, but in the interim, Lindsay has spent some experience points.
A lot of experience points.
And just taken herself to attractive what?
6.
That's a lot of experience points. As Felix, for the first time, sees your face and goes, oh, and looks back at the Spirit of Grugny.
I could have hit that.
That's cruel.
That is cruel. And goes, and his tone shifts slightly as he moves almost more formal. Sorry.
I'm
God.
leaving with my life and the gold in my eyeliner, which is more than most of my kin when they cross your people.
Yeah. Gotrek! And you hear a far more jovial reply. All right, my name! He says, we're having a drink, a celebration! We've ditched the algae! And that is what your master had said to do. You remember him lounging there, sitting there, wearing nothing more than a small pair of trews in the brass hole. At this point, you didn't know it was actually called the Golden Hoop. You thought the big circle outside and what all the local whores referred to as the brass hole was its actual name. And he said, as he was lounging there, oh, you didn't pay attention to anything, Alamein. You're such a bore. You've got to remember, your mask means more than just simply a mask. It's not a scarf. It is not a layer of scarves. It is a weapon to use. A weapon. It's not that you have to hide your face. It's that you have to always ensure that your weapons are there to be used at the right moment, the right time. Because when they think you're vulnerable, they'll tell you everything.
But I don't understand, Master, because the Adorable never wears scarves.
Ugh. Go get me some wine.
Yes, Master.
Gods have given me an idiot.
Would you like white or red?
You don't have to ask.
I will bring rosé.
Problem solved.
Stop calling me master.
Yes, Master.
As she moves off. Vulnerable, naked, and now fully conversant of what he thinks Bankol's plan is. He doesn't quite finish. It's only been a couple of hours. He's kicked you many times. He's laughed at you. He's spat in your face. His breath is truly awful. You are not in the most healthy state you've ever been. When a skaven slave comes scuttling in, a human, wearing nothing more than a collar around his neck and a pair of manacles around his wrists, and prostrates himself and says in Reichspiel,
Coded secret message, sir. He says, coded secret in human tongue. Ha!
as Gracier looks around, realizes that they're all idiots who can't speak human tongue, and feels exceedingly clever. As he wanders over and says,
Yes, speak your.
and then looks at you. Then says a little bit quietly,
Speak your coded secret message.
he says,
We're losing.
he says, "We're losing." And the Gracier eyes widen, then shrewdly turn and looks around at the rest to see if anyone has reacted. They have not. The coded secret message is intact. And says,
Yes, yes.
and then says quietly,
How badly?
he says,
Badly. Run, flee. I hear that. And screams.
and then he realizes he has the answer. The blessing of the Horned Rat. And he draws
No.
Barakul.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Leopold. You've been having it tough. You've been having it tough. In fact, our glorious heroes as a whole have been having it tough. In the dwarf hold, uncertain of where to go, uncertain of what to do. Alamein appears to have vanished. The weapon has gone. No sign of Lucas. No sign of... And as you're sitting there trying to figure out what to do, and they are mumbling away, discussing amongst themselves as to how to best go forward. The dwarves are not in a good place. They've got a front line. There's considerations. Elric's thinking about joining them, trying to hold them back. Nobody's sure what to do next. They've got a job, but how does one fulfill it? They often turn to you in these moments. God damn it. And they expect you to just find a route. You kind of can't. And then you meditate. Got to calm yourself. Run a prayer of Sigma in your head. How do you find? And then you hear it. Just on the edge of your senses. Karak Skygg. That way. Oh, bones! Divination! What are the signs as he starts looking around? Is there... The way the dust is falling, the way the shadows sit. And then again, Karak Skygg, as the blades is exposed, covered, exposed, covered. You've been following that for 3.5, almost 4 days. And it's getting louder. Karak Zornas. About once every half an hour. Karak Zornas. And I'm sorry to say, great glorious heroes, even though you have been properly equipped by the dwarves, you were not properly equipped for just how fucking cold the Middle Mountains are in what should be a relatively nice, warm autumn. The sun is up. Why do you feel so cold? Why is there so much snow?
Scotland.
It's just not right. It's cold, and the snow in particular is crisp because it gets melted and frozen and melted and frozen and melted and frozen. And you have to dodge enormous chunks of this stuff. And by that I mean glaciers, entire rivers of snow, which you know you should avoid. You don't cross those because they are known for collapsing. Bits just falling down, great fissures forming as it melts. They're dangerous. There's a lot of them up in the mountains beside Ubersreich. You've never been to one, gods no. But you've read about them. Mm-hmm. And it's been a somewhat circuitous route. But we've got here. And then, just as you're thinking it's getting loud, it cuts out. Karak Zornas stops. So all you're left with is the direction. Which is how we end up in a giant cave, wandering which direction to go in when you suddenly hear Baracool! Baracool's here. She's drawn her blade.
Oh.
You best hurry.
Yes, we best run.
So, our glorious heroes, where do we find ourselves?
Clank, 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 clank.
We are high up, looking down into a cavern where Alamein is strung up. Tied up, manacled up, roped in, one ankle tied very properly over here, another ankle tied badly there, chains just wrapped around her. They're clearly taking no chances. They're not going to let an assassin free. At her feet is Karak Skygg, just sitting there in its scabbard, just sitting there, apparently discarded in front of the elf like some sort of taunting thing. Perhaps they are aware just how much she wants it. They were not, says the narrator. 2 clan Moors, storm vermin, halberds, back straight, shining armour, shields, look altogether too deadly. And a host of rather creepy, grey-clad skaven skulking about, wondering what they're supposed to be doing, knowing that they were supposed to be here waiting for the elf to be executed. Some of them were hoping they were going to get to do it, but they were quite convinced they weren't going to be able to do it, because everybody knows that's the sort of thing that the Grey Seers like to do. They want to kill it, but they don't know if they're allowed. And the Grey Seers abandoned them, and they're not sure what to do next. And that is what you see. A total of 7 skaven down there. She ain't doing anything. However, 5 of you are free. What are you doing?
Plus,
A daring rescue.
do
of some
we
sort.
have our henchfolk with us?
Oh, absolutely.
Sakinski?
Sakinski is most certainly here.
So
As is Emmanuel, and as
8
is
of us.
Geralt.
Am I?
I mean, it's
am
the
I-
two who'll be useful in combat I'm most curious about. But,
Am I? Mouth,
Oh, you're bound. Yeah, they don't
mouth-folded?
want you to talk in case you do some sort of elfish spell.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
not
to
gonna
be
let
fair,
you talk.
might.
Yeah, totally would.
She could still hear us.
We should probably hear if we whisper. She might even hear us right now.
Yep.
Thank God.
Flap your ears if you can hear us.
You can twitch them. And her ears twitch up and down slightly.
We should probably just see how this plays out.
Sakinski looks
See us.
down and goes, puts his hands up and goes, it's 9, 2, and 7 other little ones. One over there. He says, pointing over, another 2 in the shadows.
What's the drop?
The drop is unfortunately a bit too high to be easy. We're looking around about 3 times your height.
Right.
So it's
Elric's height.
yes, Elric's height.
It's not so bad.
All right, so we can just step for us. Then.
Now, if Elric jumps down, but I promise to land in the superhero pose, that's fine.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Or
Go
a
for it.
haystack.
I'll be looking forward to the test you make.
Yeah.
You've dislocated every bone in your body.
You can still talk.
You like
Fireball.
those
Great distraction, though.
Okay, so do we want to approach this in a sort of clandestine manner? Because we all have the yellow claws still, whatever they are. What are they called again?
Yellow fangs.
Yellow fangs, that's it, thank you. Silver claws, yellow fangs, you know, you get these things mixed up. Or do we go full militaristic? And if that's the case, Elric, take over.
You've got to bear in mind that one of them is a seer. And
Is one of them obviously a seer?
the one with the whopping red.
There's no sneer
No,
here.
he's
Oh,
gone.
he's
He's
not.
gone.
No,
He
no,
took
no.
his sword and went.
Of course he did.
Indeed, all we've
Sorry.
got down here are 2 Clanmore storm vermin, a bunch of slopey little skaven creeping about, and the 2 that you didn't notice that Sakinski has pointed out that are through a cavern mouth over there, and you can see indeed one paw sitting there.
Brady, you always say that if they get scared, they'll run away. So we just go in and we
It's-
go big.
It's
and-
the
And
two
as
storm
Sakinski
vermin.
says,
Yeah.
no, we'll fucking kill them. We'll kill them all so they don't spread the fucking word. This isn't a time for being a pacifist or anything similar. We fucking murder them all. We get her and we get the fuck out.
Ears twitch violently in agreement.
Now, if it were me, I would see if we could lure a few out at a time, rather than going charging into the cavern.
We could send Drago in as a distraction.
Not here.
Oh.
Stay behind.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
We go.
Plus, also, we'd have to lure them up as opposed to.
I was more thinking he might be able to climb down.
Yeah.
But if he's not
Can
here,
we
mean,
find a way around?
I can just blast the room.
What about Alamein?
Well, they're not right next to her.
Sakinski says.
But he can control his fireball.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he knows.
Sakinski says, how about you take the ones that are through there, because there might be more inside that room we can't see. He says, we go down and kill the rest of them. He says, I'll go for the big ones.
Yeah. Well, I think we should also.
But just
stop
if
them.
there is one of their magic users, he may stop me. So just be prepared to go in hard, go in
He says,
fast.
It's a fucking fight.
Yeah.
He says,
Free
is
the
everyone
elf.
ready?
Finally.
Okay.
Free Al.
Well,
What's
let's,
that saying?
let's make sure we can get down there.
Looks round
So
and goes, Geralt, you coming? And he says, I suppose so, yes.
Well, I'm going, so you have to come.
Is there a way down that we can see?
Nope.
I've
Nope.
got an axe
We've
I haven't
got-
had a chance to use properly
we've
yet.
got ropes.
Yeah.
We've got
haven't we?
ropes. We've got 2 harnesses.
He
Two
says,
harnesses.
it's not that fucking high.
Says the guy that's 7 foot tall.
I mean, like for us tall ones, like if
I
we
mean, yeah,
lower
you're
ourselves
going to
down-
be falling about your height, so it's long enough you might twist an ankle, but hopefully you won't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Adrenaline.
a test
Yeah.
will see you through.
Is there anything to secure a rope to up here?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's loose, jagged cavern. There's going to be the occasional reach the ceiling stalagmite. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. I think
Um,
secure a rope. It makes it easier to get down.
Not many tights for you two. I'm tight too, though.
Can I put
Mostly
down a
mites.
divination earlier? Since I would have done one.
I'm happy with that. Go for it.
All good.
Okay, good. Right, so we're going to run in effectively attack order rather than initiative order. Sakinski is all for jumping down first, and the idiot that he is, he's intending on trying to just jump down on top of one of the storm vermin, blade out. If he hurts himself, so be it. He'd rather hurt himself and definitely take one out than the alternative. He's got surprise on his side. Before he hits the ground, he can get a death blow in. That's his intent. Then he'll hit the ground and deal with that bit afterwards.
Wow.
That's his plan.
Can he wait until Elric throws his
He'll wait for
fireball?
you. The
Yeah.
second you do something that looks like magic, he's jumping.
Yeah.
That's his plan. Who is going after Sakinski and doing perhaps a less idiotic option? If you're in full armor, you're not wanting to jump. He's not. He's in sort of a half armor mixture of plates and leathers.
How far away are they all?
They're looking at talking around about down to the storm vermin who's sitting there and there. You're looking around about 10 paces, not very far at all. They're
Oh,
quite
awesome.
close.
I might
Tied.
bring down Sigmar's wrath on them.
Yeah,
instead.
sounds great.
That sounds like a
Although
better
you
idea.
will bring down Sigmar's wrath upon Sakinski. Because he's going for them.
It's quite targeted. If I do the silver flame, not so much, but if I do the argent decree, that's just one target.
Sounds good.
Storm burn.
Won't be a problem. Perfect. So you're doing that.
Are
You're
you tying
bound.
the rope first?
You're going for rope tie, going down the rope, just
Yeah.
tossing the rope off and getting down there, and then coming in as the second wave.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we tie the rope first.
Yeah,
before,
absolutely.
and
Before
then
you
we
go.
can throw
Yeah.
it.
So you're going second wave.
Does
Garrett
it-
will be going second wave with you.
Gerhardt's going gun with fireball.
That sounds perfect. Bang!
I'm sure one of them will think of this. Can I?
No, you can't.
Damn
You,
it.
you are currently tactically out.
That's right.
Can you use
You mean what you
language
do?
battle with your
Yes.
ears?
I was going to.
She'll
Shush! Shut your
twitch
mouth!
one ear.
Nope.
She'll twitch one ear.
Nope.
No, but she will do that.
Okay.
Al agrees with our
Twitch your
plan.
ear.
Oh, she wants me to shoot the
And she
the
can move her
ropes
head.
off her-
She can move her head, right?
Yeah,
So
kind
she'll
of.
twitch her head and push her head forward and
Yeah.
down.
Shoot the rocks.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so that
So
being the
then
case,
stay
what
in
should we be
front of
doing?
her.
I mean,
How
I
is
go
she?
down,
Where
yes, I
is she
will.
tied up?
She's sitting right in the middle of the room.
She's on the floor, but tied up.
On the floor, all wrapped up and chained and tied.
Cool. Okay.
And manacled. And chained. And tied.
I'm happy to grab the sword and I don't know, but I'm not strong enough to pull her out of the way.
That's okay. Just concentrate on undoing her and we'll
Okay,
do the
but
rest.
someone.
I'm going to roll to see if anyone hears you. They do. The storm vermin react.
Oh.
So,
Can those-
they get the drop on you,
can
but they
those
don't
ones-
so much get the drop as they twist.
Look at us.
Six sense in combat aware help?
Yes, go. Do yourself a sixth sense test, please.
What's the
Six
sense
sense
test?
is a success.
That is your intuition.
Yeah, cool, pass.
Okay, pass. They're ready. It's attack time.
Right. I'll
So,
just do it then.
the storm vermin, fortunately, do not have ranged weapons.
Ooh, I rolled
That's
exactly.
not
yeah.
strictly true, because one of them turns round, looks up, and just tosses the weapon that it's holding directly at Sakinski, sadly.
I hope he's enough of a badass to catch it midair.
Yeah, like that.
It's worse because Skaven. I rolled 99.
Stabs him right in the back.
Oh, this is going to go well.
Yes.
This is going to go really well.
He
This
thinks
is going
his
to be.
friends betrayed him and he stabbed him.
I love it.
Classic Skaven.
As he twists round, looks up, pulls the weapon back, and stabs the back half of his weapon into the other, who has, let's say, successfully survived that rocket ship travel. Stabs him in the eye as he twists round. Doesn't care, throws it regardless. But the weight of just that extra eye and all the bits that come out with it is enough for him to completely, the tugging on the skull as well, that causes his aim to go off. And his weapon clatters against the stone side of the wall. And he screeches in annoyance at this idiot who got in the way of his perfectly timed, as the other one turns round and stabs him. Assuming that he passes his endurance test, which he does with flying colours. You didn't need to get the drop in them. They've got the drop in each other. Yep, successful. The other one, dodges out the way easily as they hiss at each other. Briefly forgetting, this is the well-trained troops, by the way. Briefly forgetting about each other.
Yeah, these are the elite ones.
As the rest of the Skaven turn round and go, "Hey! There's a fight on between the storm vermin." Brilliant! As some of them, one of them immediately pulls out, "What I'm talking's bet." You recognise the tongue. They're indeed speaking the correct form of Queekish, you understand, because they're Clan Scruton. So, with that all said, we are an initiative, no elves. So it's you, other than elf.
We passed our 6 cents. Did we not get?
Oh, yeah, sorry. No,
Yeah.
it's just you two.
Yeah.
Right at the very top. So combat aware allows you to ignore. You're not surprised, so we're fine.
Does nose for trouble count?
Nose for trouble. If you're looking down at people, you were busy discussing. You were sadly the.
Because you sensed their ill intent, which.
Yeah, I mean, you knew they'd have ill intent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think nose for trouble is really going to apply here. So yeah.
I shall invoke an Argent's decree.
Oh Christ!
Said
Out,
Skaven.
out comes
that
Sigmar.
finger.
Bloody hell!
Naughty boys.
And who are you targeting with your Argent decree?
I think I will target. I mean, I'm assuming the ones in the shadows are further away.
The ones that are in the cave mouth and to the
Yeah.
next area, they are further away.
How much further?
We're talking almost where you're from, about 40 paces away.
Yeah, no. So I guess I'll go for whichever of the storm vermin still has a weapon.
That sounds perfect. Okay, so I'm the one without the eye.
Yeah, yeah. One eye, but a halberd. I figure is more dangerous than two eyes.
Yeah,
in
go
a
for it.
halberd.
I like it.
So I have successfully, unless there's any
No.
impediment.
No.
So that means.
Do tell us what happens, Mr. Priest.
They're going to take. It could be better. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage, ignoring all their toughness and armor.
Oh, nasty.
Is that
okay?
Is that verbal? That spell?
Oh yeah,
It's not a spell. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
What he does.
I'm invoking Sigmar.
not
as
a
judge.
100% not a spell. He says a prayer from his prayer book. Okay, so he literally invokes Sigmar to. I believe you're freezing them, aren't you?
Yeah, it's the Argent, so it's like the silver
it's bringing
flame,
down the
basically.
silver flame upon them.
Yeah.
Okay, and icy fire wraps around him. Is he utterly confused? That's enough for me to do a cool test. Now, just so we're aware, our Skaven have got special rules for cool tests because Skaven aren't human. They've got a very different way of dealing with it. And this is the first time we've actually got Skaven by themselves doing their thing. Skaven don't get to use their advances on their cool test. They just don't. They can have like 30 cool advances. They don't get to use them unless there's more Skaven. The more Skaven there is, the more of their advances they can use. So they've all got their base willpower there. That's what they run on when they think they're surrounded by enemies, which this one does. So it means he's just got his base cool. Doesn't get to do his other one, which means a roll of 45, which is well under his 141 cool. Fails. He squirts the musketeer. His
The musketeer
glands,
freezes.
his glands tighten up and freeze as he backs off, utterly confused, bewildered, bleeding from this eye, and then the blood freezing slightly in his socket. As he looks around, trying to figure out what happened, forgetting that he had heard there was something up there, not even paying attention to the words that are coming from up there because he's scared, really scared, and he runs for the very same archway that the Grey Seer went through.
Quick, someone get
And he bounds past you, ignores the cursed weapon, and jumps through that big cave mouth, leaving the other one that had cast his weapon aside, had to dodge away from the extra hit coming, looking around, and then looking up and seeing you. Good job, Skaven.
But will Elric get a chance to get
Elric
the one
definitely
that's
gets a
running
chance.
Got a
before he
channel
goes through the door?
first.
Unless you want to just go for a straight cast.
Oh, they
That
Always
worked out
out.
the last time, but it's 7 he's looking for.
got your stuff on?
Journey
Yeah,
plus-
but that, again, all that is benefits to the channel rather
Not
than
the
the
spell.
cast.
Helps him gather the actuate, doesn't help him cast the spell.
I
Yeah.
believe in you.
No.
It's not.
To repeat myself. I
The
won't.
channel first, so he has some crazy amount
busting.
of successes. So like 9 successes.
Good. Okay, as you channel up the wind, the storm vermin there immediately starts barking orders in Queekish, calling the rest of the Skaven to order. Let's see if he succeeds. His action is stop you running away, you idiots, which absolutely succeeds, which means that they all get to benefit from their numbers for their cool tests. Quite important for our Skaven. As he points up to obviously where you all are as we hit the top of the round. Highest initiative is Birdie. What's your initiative, please?
My initiative is, one moment, because I've not done this in a while, 60.
No, I'm first. Okay, so our lovely Skaven, my storm vermin, is going to back off to the back, thinking that this is the safest point. Order all the rest of the clan rats forward to scrabble up the wall, which you think will cause them no particular difficulty should they desire to do so. They are particularly nimble creatures. And
get it.
we then drop down to the normal Skaven, their initiative, still higher
What's
than yours.
Sakinsky's initiative?
Not as high as the Skaven's.
Pardon?
So Sakinsky's not actually that high initiative-wise. He's got a high-ish one, but not as high as Birdie's, as it turns out.
2.
He's only now
So
two,
it's
less
actually
so.
70.
70.
It's actually
It's actually 70.
He's about everyone else's age.
Yeah, he is, totally.
Yes.
Just a baby.
So the first of them comes scrabbling forward, wicked rusted blade drawn, and scrabbles up and Sakinsky's right in front of him. So it's going to take a stab up at Sakinsky. Sees the size of Sakinsky.
Foreskin.
Yeah, I'm going to do a cool test because that's actually quite scary. I've passed it. And stabs. Sakinsky is obviously prepared. And Sakinsky lowers his shield and just bats it downwards, causing it to clatter as another Skaven leaps from the side and tries to leap over the shield to get access to him. Ooh, succeeds. And doesn't so much, gets over the shield and rams his blade directly into the side of Sakinsky's face. It slides across the edge, opening up a rather nasty wound there, but his helmet takes the worst of it, causing the wound to arc off as the paw goes right by. I've got other ones there. They won't be able to reach. I'm going to get one more in on Sakinsky, but it's only going to be Sakinsky that takes the attacks. That one succeeds as well. Sakinsky moves his shield over, blocks the other blow, meaning that we're now on Sakinsky. The one that got over his shield, he will not. Not very well. Okay, bats him with his helmet, causing the Skaven as he hits it right on the nose and the snout. Rah! Okay, and then takes his fist and plunges it up into his throat, causing the Skaven to fall. Thump. Yeah. Yeah. The fall is the worst part of it. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, no, the fall is the worst part of it. Okay, as crunch, he falls down. His blade drawn as he's bleeding badly from the side of that wound. The other Skaven can't do anything because they're not really prepared for this. That one at the back might respond. The one that's sitting through in the cave, I'm going to do a test for him. They're used to fighting occurring amongst the Skaven. They often react a round after. It's not that they haven't heard it.
Just want to have a look.
It's just
Yeah.
they don't think it's anything that important. They're looking this round. They're going to see that they're all jumping up there. That one's going to react, but he's not going to do anything other than look. So the two of them are looking through to see what's out, which does mean we go to Birdie.
Okay. So, what's the nearest Skaven to me?
So we have Sakinsky blocking the core route down, okay, and the Skaven just stabbing to either side. Do you have a relatively long weapon?
I've got my axe.
Not long enough.
Or I have
that
a
causes
spear.
a swing.
I have my
Spear
spear
would
with
be
me.
perfect. Spear.
You've got enclosed fighting, right?
I do have.
And
enclosed
I was about to
fighting.
say, do you have enclosed fighting? If you
Yes.
don't, you won't get to use the spear, but you do, which means
do.
you're allowed to use a long weapon.
Yes.
Okay, so with enclosed fighter, you can use the spear and poke it right through.
And you've got drilled, and you're and you're standing
Yeah,
next to
I
him.
do. Drilled.
So you got advantage already.
So that's 4 successes.
Sweet.
And how many times you got drilled? Because that also adds successes.
I have drilled twice.
So that's 2 extra successes.
6
Sweet.
successes.
Okay, you stabbed through. You have successfully struck. Poor Skaven did not expect that big pokey stick to go right out as it's sitting there underneath like that and then stick in the head. Do your damage, please.
So
Just add whatever your plus damage is to your 6.
plus 11.
So that's 17.
17.
17.
Points of damage.
Poor bastard.
Very nice.
Poof! Which causes him to have to do a test to stay, which he's not passed. Falling damage. Yeah, no. Father Leopold.
So there's no real way down.
No, because Sakinski's the idiot's currently in the way.
Can the Skaven that are coming to attack Sakinsky, would they have line of sight to Leopold?
No, not really. Not as it currently stands. They're mostly just attacking Sakinski.
No, but they're attacking. Will they have line of sight? Different
If
question.
they move into where Sakinski is, but currently
But
they're
if
sort
they're
of
base to
all...
base with them, they wouldn't.
Yeah, no, not
Even
really.
So
Yeah.
basically, there's no point doing divine brilliance, for instance. It would have no effect on them.
Yeah, at the moment, I mean, it might make them scared. I mean, it might.
Well, it affect if they can see him. It affects.
Yeah, I
them.
mean, they're going to see the light, so it might make them scared. I mean, it might work. I'm
It's
cool for that.
It's not the one that causes fear. It's the one that means they either act or move.
Yeah, I think that will go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a go. I mean,
they may have a partial
it makes sense
effect.
for him.
Yeah.
And
And if it's up when I go in, that's also useful.
Yeah, perfect.
So let's do that. Yep. Good.
as divine light spills from you as you start.
I will increase the range of it.
Sweet too.
So that it
How many
goes-
squares in total?
So
His normal range
let's
is?
increase it. So normal range is 7.
So that'd be 14. 14 squares, total of 28 paces, not quite at the edge of the circle, but that's all of the Skaven down
Double
there.
it twice.
Okay, then that'll do it. That'll take the lot.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. As golden light irradiates from Father Leopold, expressing just how much Sigmar has clearly blessed him. Hey, you may. Yeah, you're sitting at the back. It's all kicked off faster than you expected. Sakinski's still up here. He apparently said he was going to jump, and now he's fighting off on all sides.
Should perhaps just flag this up just in case for paranoid people watching at home, since we're now dubious about who might be in the party. Enemies of Sigmar are affected by this. I'm just saying. Not just Skaven, any enemies of Sigmar. I'm
Your
just
fangs drop.
saying.
Ah! No.
Oh, I need to go do something.
So, Yumi, you can
might
see the
roll me
occasional
a
paw sticking up. I mean, you might get a lucky shot off with a bow.
I'm probably gonna delay and.
That sounds good. Delay. Yeah, well, okay. Everything's gone a little bit annoying.
But I can still lean in, get a fire.
Yeah, you can look for a space, but it's going to have to go through the annoying gap that is currently being kind of filled by a very moving. It's going to, effectively from you, you're going to be doing an additional test on top of what you're doing to get the fireball to go through the gap. It's going to be a perception test on top. If you mess that up, there could be some singes along the way. If you fumble it, I will laugh so uproariously that Andy will cover his ears.
Going for it.
Okay,
We're
just
not
in
too
case.
attached to Sakinski.
That sounds
No,
good.
exactly. Fuck that guy.
No, that's what Birdie's plan is.
Yeah, don't burn him till I've had him.
So do you want me to language magic? Language magic first?
Yeah,
Okay.
cast your
Ping me
spell.
again.
Yes, like 12 success.
Well, that's cast then.
Yeah.
And that's fireball.
And
anyway.
that's one extra fireball as well.
Excellent. So you can be
two
firing two fireballs through that particular
Yeah.
gap. Okay, so this is going to have to be very carefully articulated.
One either side.
How many successes on the language magic test?
12.
So articulated beautifully. So the actual spell is good, and you have to modify the words so that the fireballs go at the point when you want them to go, which is going to take off 2 of the overcastings, taking it down to just 8. That just tucks it down.
Like little fireworks.
Okay, so you can control it going through, but you'll keep your 2. And boom, 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 out it goes. Perception test. 99.
3 successes.
Boo! 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 Fireball 1 through that gap. Fireball 2 as the paw goes up. Fire! Ah! Goes past it. Where? I presume they're targeting down into the place.
Yeah,
where
so
Skaven are.
the largest conglomerations of.
Target-rich environment.
Yeah, the from where you are, it's the big open gap of a cave where they're poking their noses out. All the rest of them have moved up into the close proximity of where you are, so you can't quite see them from your elevated position. But from where you are looking down, you can clearly see the ones that are poking their noses out. You can just blow fire up in there. How much damage for those fireballs, please?
28 wounds.
Oh! Is that twice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
Yeah, these aren't storm vermin. Oh, fling! And
Now,
fling!
that said, if they see it coming, they have a chance to take a save.
Yeah, they're going to see that. Well, the first one has definitely failed that. The second one gets past, which means I can jump to the edge of it, as I recall. With
It
dodge
just means
test.
you suffer half damage.
Okay, that's still a lot of freaking damage. So he'll jump out of the mouth. The other one gets blown up right inside. As inside that particular cavern, where there was approximately, and by approximately I mean exactly 21 skaven, there are now none alive. Not one.
Good job.
As it blows up within a very contained space and they don't have anywhere to jump. So it doesn't matter if they can pass a test or not. They take the full damage because it's contained within that particular chamber. The only one that got out, the one at the front, leaps out to the front, half singed at his back, utterly panicked, having lost all of its clanmates behind it, as we then hit.
Go, Fake
Gerhard.
Elric.
Can I see this rat that's jumped out?
Oh yeah!
Bang!
It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Bang! Take your shot. A far smaller thing. You've got more than enough time to take your time. Bang! How do we
Question
do?
for you on things like advantages and all that sort of stuff. How are we looking?
You don't have any.
Yeah, fine.
Are we fortune pointing?
2 fails.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Fortune pointing?
Well, isn't it opposed? So is it?
No.
dependent on what they get?
It's ranged.
No, it's range.
No, it's-
I don't do this often.
no, clearly it's
Well,
range.
clearly, that's the
No.
problem.
Okay, I'll fortune point it then.
It's not the most, but you
even
don't
worse.
get
Uh-oh.
Has he
Oh,
fumbled?
Is
yeah.
that not really bad?
Because it's an
Have you
impale.
fumbled?
If it's an impale,
Yes.
does that count for fumbles as well?
Well, we'll find out. What did you roll?
80.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
It doesn't count as a fumble because it's not a double.
that's good.
Okay, so that's just a
It
fail.
doesn't
Just a
explode.
fail.
Okay, so bang! It skims by
His
the,
other cheek.
the other cheek of Sakinski as you're attempting to get shot. And you're like, bang! And whoosh! And
Can't
the
you keep
shot.
holding it sideways?
That's how they told me. That's how they
A
see it.
huge gout of smoke bursts out by Sakinski as his ear rings. The downside of that is that you have deafened him in one ear. As bang, and anyone else here who has acute senses hearing up in this area has to
Endurance?
do an endurance test with 6 successes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is that a fumble?
Uh-oh. I might fortune point.
I
You
do
have
believe he just said,
advantage.
uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Even if I had advantage, I'd fail that.
What about, while he's sorting that out, what about Geralt?
Oh!
He doesn't have
Six, you
advanced
say?
acute sense hearing.
6
so-
successes, you say?
Yes.
6 successes.
Ooh! So you're not deafened, and you just got ringing in
I
your
rolled
ear.
my endurance is 70, I rolled 69.
Beautiful. You missed the word dude.
I
69.
literally said
Oh,
dude.
I didn't hear the word dude.
What? Leopold 69 to dude.
Fair enough.
Good on
No.
you.
No
Yeah.
judgment. We listen, but we
So,
don't judge.
good. So no one else has got acute senses hearing. So,
The
bang.
elf's far enough away.
I believe,
Also mechanically.
even though he missed, the Skaven he shot at has to make a cool test.
Oh,
Yes, he
that's
does.
true.
Black powder
Black
weapons.
powder.
That's what I say to those dice.
Oh my god, 5 experience!
Stupid dice. That Skaven darts for the same open area that the Stormvermin went through and starts skiting over there, his claws scrabbling on the ground as he attempts to get away. But his movement is done, so he's not going to make any real purchase on this until next round. So that's him done. That's you done. So, Geralt, He's sitting up at the top. Everyone's sort of bashing through. You fired a fireball. He's not going to be able to do very much either. He's going to be just sort of sitting in place. Emmanuel will be standing beside you in utter awe.
I miscounted the damage for my fireballs.
Uh-oh.
It's actually higher.
How much? Because it makes a difference for the one that
an
survives.
extra 7. So
Okay,
35.
35 each.
Yeah.
35, half down to 15,
Sorry,
60,
because my
70.
staff just adds my willpower bonus
Yeah, it
again.
does. Yeah. Stupid staff.
Well, the college's staff.
Yeah, quite. So that's the end of the round. Start of the next round.
What's Geralt do?
Just
Very little. There's not
There's
much
nothing
space.
he can do at this point.
Right.
Fair enough.
He needs a spear.
Skaven on all side. They're coming around, milling about. That one that's down there will run out into the gap. The ones that are pushing up. That's a fireball. I mean, they're not looking back at the moment, but that's enough for me, I think, at the end of the round. I'm going to do myself a cool test to see what they're... Okay. I am unsure how I'm going to do... So, when Skaven roll a 13, they get an advantage. All species have their own special rules. He just rolled a 13. So, give me a second. Right, so the one that's with against Sakinski is going to translate that into an immediate critical on Sakinski.
I've
And
already spent a fate point.
I'm going to roll a d10 to see what sort of critical. If I roll a 1, it's just going to be another rather bad wound, but this is going to be a proper bleeder. Unlike the one he's got at the moment, which is just bleeding, not quite as bad. Okay, if I roll a 10, he is in freaking trouble.
Tough boy.
Really disappointing. As the sword stabs out underneath the guard of the shield that's up there and slices across his leg. Blood immediately wells and spills down, filling his boot. He's got a bit of a bleeder there. He is, he's critted his endurance test. He apparently doesn't care.
Legend!
He's more of a, ah!
I'm hitting that.
That's what the Skaven said.
He's in fact doing exactly that to the Skaven, hitting that. As he lashes downwards, and because he critted it, I'm going to let him go first because that's kind of funny. The Skaven, 0-0. These are like up and down, like a roller coaster. These are the best Skaven ever. As he bashes down with his sword, it ducks back in an attempt to get away, forgetting that it's half clambering on, and ducks back into empty space, loses its grasp entirely, and tumbles backwards, paws up, and lands neck first.
Like Hans Gruber falling from.
It was the best of
Nacogdoches
Skaven.
Plaza.
It was the
It
worst.
was the worst escape. The Hornrat was with him, and then, what, you didn't kill him? Not with you at all! Crunch! That's enough that the rest of the Skaven that are here are now on the outs, and they're running. They've just gone past the number that they're happy to accept. None of them are currently engaged because he's killed the second one that's in with them, so they just use their full movement to cross out and spill out the other side, scarpering down past Alamein. One of them might stab her.
Not if they can see me, they won't.
Yeah, because can't move and attack.
None of them will stab her, because by the time they're down there, they're bathed in the golden light. Okay, one of them really thinks about it with his tail. That blade is wafting. He's really thinking about it, but he doesn't, as he just scampers out. As everything falls silent in the room, and Sakinski, you bugger.
Gerhard.
Yeah, come here. Let's sort you out.
Well, I think we need to go down to him, don't we?
Well, he hasn't jumped.
No, he's
still up.
he hasn't.
He hasn't gone down.
Oh, I
He's
thought he went down.
no, he's still
No.
on them at the
That's
top.
why we
Block
He never got a
him,
chance
that's
to
why
go
no
down.
one else could
That's
go
why
down,
no one could
because
get
there's
by.
7
Because big
foot.
Sakinski was in the way.
I'll deal with this. You guys go get Alamein away.
Okay.
As he comes back, it's wicked. Oh, it doesn't look good. That's going to need to be cleaned out. Alcohol in that one.
That's
Well,
fine.
is it bleeding sharp? Like, intently?
Yeah.
Well, while Gerhardt's getting his stuff out, Leopold will lay his holy hands on him.
Lay your hands on him. Lay your hands on him.
Sure.
Lay your hands on him.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
he's dead.
And that gets rid of the bleeding condition, I believe.
It does.
Excellent.
And it heals a whole bunch of wounds.
How many? It's important. He's taking a fair number.
D10 plus 5.
Okay.
7.
Yeah, there's still a good bit of patching
Yeah,
up to
so
do.
you still need heal, but
Yeah,
it
go
stops
for
the bleeding short.
Yeah.
Yes,
El-
totally.
Elric's jumping down to.
Okay, do
get
yourself
to
an
Al.
athletics test.
Yeah.
If you pass this, you're down without any difficulties. If you fail this, I laugh uproariously. I'm going to have to laugh at some
I'm
point.
going to go down as well.
No, you passed. Failed.
I did not pass. Unless I've got 83 athletics.
I don't
No,
believe
I
you
do not.
Would you like to re-roll
Got
using a
I've
fortune
got
point?
53.
Would you like to re-roll using a fortune point?
No.
Okay, then just roll a d10. That's how many wounds you take. That's it. If you roll.
4.
Oh, it's just 4. You just landed badly as you dropped
Lost
down.
the pencil. So I
Okay,
just
so
won't know
not
it.
too bad.
That's an app.
Yes, you going down?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. You're heavier. You need to take a little bit more time. If you take your time, you get plus 20 on the test, of course.
I crit.
Perfect. You're down without any
Critics.
problems at all. And if you crit, that means you and Geralt are both down without any issues. Sounds perfect. A pair of you working as a perfect team. It's all falling into place,
Yes.
Birdie. It's all falling into place.
For once.
Yes. Anyone else going down? Oh, how did you do with your healing?
I'm on my way.
6
I'm coming.
successes, so that just maxes it out. So 5 plus my intelligence bonus, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
So 14.
That makes a huge difference. As you wrap the bandages around, check his face. His face is going to need a stitch or two.
Oh, sorry. Field dressing 2. 16.
So another 2, perfect. Stitch up along the face. The actual worst wound was the ankle originally, but after the father stopped it bleeding, all it's going to take now is the binding. But the face one does need some stitches, so you stitch that one into place.
Okay.
And Sakinski, it's not the first time he's been stitched up.
No, so it'll be a wicked looking scar though, so just don't scratch it.
I got 3 successes for going down as well.
Excellent, good. And Alamein, it's all tied up.
Rescue time.
All right, so first down is Elric. Alamein is bound, gagged, and
Chained.
chained.
First of all,
manacled.
remove the gag. Easy. What is the? You said that her feet were tied.
Yes, one is tied to it's almost like a rooted bit of stone. It's not much, and it's very easy to just lift it off.
Oh, you're just gonna break it.
Okay, but from her perspective, it's almost impossible because
Yeah.
she's all bound in place. With tension on the other side to another bit of rock that they managed to loop bits of leather around. I mean, it's ramshackle, but she's
But it
stuck.
works.
Yeah. But you can just easily just pop that
Yeah.
one off, and suddenly, oh, your leg is released.
Oh,
Oh!
I didn't say I did that.
Oh, your leg isn't released. Ah!
Wait.
Yeah, just mouthful. I can't think of the word. Gag.
Gag,
that's the
gag
word.
is done. He'll just lift one and slice through the other one.
That sounds perfect.
The Gracia took Barakul through the archy door.
There's a grey seer.
We should get after him.
Is it that one that we saw before?
Uh,
The one with the staff.
So the grey seer that is there is the one that was standing on the plinth high above the rest of
With
the
the
Skaven, looking down
it
at the
was the
great
one-
weapon before.
with the one
From
with
the
the
cavern.
warlord from the cavern. He's taken Barakul. We have to get after him, or the mountain dwarves, the half things.
The half things.
The half things are going to be in trouble.
Okay.
We need to wait for the father and Sakinski and Gerhardt. They're just.
No,
Touching
you're
up.
much more concerned about something else. And that's that if he reaches the Skaven, weapon's gone. That's it, weapon's gone. I mean, it's very nice to say that you want to look for half things, but
Yeah.
screw those guys.
But we'll just
What's the
lose
test
it.
to come down?
Yeah.
It's just athletics. Take your time, plus 20.
Very much so.
And we have to hurry, everyone. And
good.
where's my things? Help me. No.
There are
No
no things.
You
things.
just have
Manuel, also good.
your rune fang.
It's not her room fang, it's
Yeah, I
Karak
know.
Zorna's.
Sakinski
And
can carry it.
it's frickin' huge. As Sakinski looks and says,
Take it. It's
I'm not sure I should be carrying.
no. You should. You're big and bold and strong.
He picks it up, and the scabbard's like that wide as he holds it. It's a lot lighter than I expected. It is, because it's made of star metal, and you know it. As he straps its scabbard around him, looks at it. Like,
Spare
well, I've got it.
clothes, anyone?
Yes.
Does anybody happen to have spare clothes along with them?
Yes.
I mean, I've sort of got a cloak I can give her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
marvellous.
Yeah. We all
You can
have
walk
chains.
around
And
with
they'll actually
leathers and a
look for you.
cloak.
Yeah. Yeah. Between us, we can totally kick you out.
And I lost my amulet.
Gone.
Well, the skaven will have it.
Yeah.
The Grey
Probably.
Seer.
Did she say that?
All the more reason to go.
What have you lost?
I've lost everything.
Apart from Peak Leveler. Well done.
Apart from Peak Leveler, because they think it's cursed. We really have to go.
But also, yeah, we need to go.
Yeah.
March in order.
Just in case I'll do an augury, in case I happen to get lucky.
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's a pass, but not a crit. So,
Worth a try.
yeah, worth a try.
The signs are bad, man. This is not a good place. You can feel the wrongness in everything. The way the stone sits and the dust falls incorrectly. Instead of falling straight, it swirls slightly. This place is twisted, full of shadow.
To Elric's site, is it Ogu everywhere?
If you wish to open your sight open,
Yeah.
do yourself a perception test.
Oh, no.
Nah.
Nah.
It's really mundane.
Yeah. Just a cavern.
There's the place is flooded with magic, and that's all you get.
Indiscernible.
Yeah, it's there's so much that it's flooded your senses, and you're getting nothing from it.
Yeah.
So what we have is a great cavern on the other side where several skaven have run away, and apparently the Grey Seer has also made his way down there. A Grey Seer that apparently has got Baracool. I didn't go that loud. Baracool. So, are we heading off in that direction?
Yes.
Who's taking the lead?
Follow the smell of burning skaven.
Well, no, we can follow the smell of the musk of fear.
How's
I
Sakinski
don't know what
moving?
those things smell like.
Pardon?
How's
You know what
Sakinski
burning
moving?
skaven smells like.
He's moving fine. Yeah, he's
Elric and him at the front.
sounds wise. So Elric and Sakinski moving up to the front. He'll have his axe, much better weapon for close quarters combat when you're in uncertain corridors.
Have you seen Lucas? Right, okay.
Does anyone have a weapon for me?
You can have a sword.
What do you need?
Anything?
Pick one.
Get a sword from.
A sword.
You're a knight. You don't have that anymore.
What are you buying?
Okay, he carries your weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Geralt,
there it is.
what do you want?
And it's not that much. He's only got a spare short sword.
We
Fine,
need to
I'll
have
take a
words.
sword.
You're a knight. You
So,
know,
I've got a handmade
You-
dagger.
I've got a dagger as
I'm
well.
going to want
so-
some little cupboards made into my armour.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have my dagger.
when you've got the money to
I've
spend,
got my
Do so.
dirty
I will.
work dagger. Do you want my dirty work
Did
dagger?
I say that?
yes.
I meant to leave my dagger on Dara's corpse.
Oh, you didn't mention that, but I'm more than happy for that
Yeah,
to be
he
the
gave
case.
up his.
Leave it there. Yeah.
Stop.
Love that.
You're killing me.
So,
Oh, Alamein wife doesn't know Dara's dead.
no.
No.
And let's not tell her yet.
Right. So, we make our way down into the depths of the passageways here under the Middle Mountains. Anyone who has got channeling Ulgu,
Yes, me.
as one, immediately senses there is something deeply wrong with this place. Wrong. I'm not saying that it's full of Ulgu.
Yeah,
it's just wrong. Something's deeply wrong with this place. And your senses are crackling. Your hackles are rising. Anyone with sixth sense, point number 2, feel that you're being watched, feel that something is out to get you. For the rest of you mundane individuals,
Totally oblivious.
yeah, it's just dark corridors.
Unless
How
holy
are we
vision.
lighting the way?
Well, Elric's at the front with his staff, which is lit.
I mean, for a few rounds, Leopold is a bit light as a torch, but that will fade eventually.
Yeah, indeed.
So Elric's staff is lit.
Yep.
So at least they've got
So
that.
Elric's
And
staff-
his braziers are also there. So
So
Is
we've got the burning, ruddy red light of Elric. Anything else being lit up?
I've got a lantern.
Are we lighting that up so that you're
Yes.
carrying it along? So carrying that along. Pistol still drawn on the other side, now
Have you
reloaded.
it?
7 matches. Have I reloaded the pistol? That seemed to go quite badly. So, yes.
Perfect.
Did you light the lantern with the pistol?
Oh.
I've got quite a lot I want to say,
Gerhardt is
but
now on fire.
I'm
Sans
too worried
hand.
that people will, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got much to tell you, but it'll have to wait.
Zane.
It's good to see you.
As we're making our way down.
Before we leave that room, though, like, did you see if the storm vermin took any of your stuff? Like, before we
No.
leave it behind.
So
Okay.
No,
Did you
your
look
stuff
over
was
them
taken
anyway?
from
The-
you when you were captured.
Yeah.
And
the
then
Great
you
Seer's
woke
probably
up
got
here.
anything of value.
Probably.
All more reason to
Nice.
smack.
Yeah. All I care about is Barracool and that amulet.
The way shards?
Oh shit, the way shards. Fuck.
Your-
Has it got my way
Yours
shard?
as well.
You've got commitment.
Flux.
And your bag
You are
of
currently
many
naked.
things.
Literally.
She probably has a moment of terror
As sheer terror hits. That terror would have almost certainly hit some time ago
because
when
she
you
would
woke
have
up.
realised.
Yeah. If you die, you're gone.
We have to find the Grey Seer.
You're just like
Don't
all the
die.
rest of us.
I know. She goes to chaos.
I know.
Just like the rest
Just
of
like the
us.
rest of you.
You heard?
We
John?
just have to find the Grey Seer as soon as possible.
Any sense of the sword?
No, but as soon as I feel anything, I'll let you know.
I wonder where we'll
It
find
sadly was drawn.
Oh.
So the only time you'll sense it is if it goes away and
Takes
comes
it off.
back out again.
it. Did just
What was that?
ask, I wonder where we'll find it then.
I would like to make an oracle test.
Okay, an oracle test it is.
Because those Sakanti can carry me if I get stunned for ages. So.
No, we'll probably just drag you by an ankle.
It's a pass, but not a crit.
The father stops. Stunned, you can move at half rate, meaning that you can
That's
be.
right, yeah.
Yeah, meaning you can be
Sort of
moved along.
Guide
That's,
along. Man, you'll be getting used to
come
that.
on.
Stop.
Steering me.
As he stumbles for a moment, sits up, and ice drips from the edges of his bandages. You say nothing. You say nothing at all. You do not like what you've seen.
Is it because you're an imposter?
You slow down for some time, and that slows the entire process because you're now down to half pace unless you're leaving Leopold
Or
behind.
can we not just like
Sedan chair.
give him
Hustle him
put him
on.
on two people's shoulders and just go as
He's
fast?
a big guy in
Yep.
full plate.
Well, I'm a big girl in full plate,
Yeah,
so is
no.
Gerald.
I think
Yeah,
I think
you're already
Sakanski
carrying full plate.
I think Sakanski has carried me in full plate before.
Yeah, but it's going to be at half
Yeah.
rate. He's a full guy. It's like, you're not going to be running. You're not going to be moving at speed.
But if it had
Yeah.
worked,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You mate, could you go on ahead?
Pitch black. Can't
I
see a
can't
thing in
see
the
it.
darkness.
Do you want me
Right.
to roll how many
Yeah,
minutes?
but it would be good to know.
1,
12, 50, 10.
The maximum. Sorry.
Sigmar has taken him.
Do you want to scout it? Because you might see a bit further than me.
Who's moving ahead?
Do you want to
I think
want
Alan
to
Alamein
come with
away.
you?
Because I can't see, but
Yeah.
she might.
You
see
got
a
night
bit
vision?
better.
And you've got stealth underground,
I've got
so
stealth
we can go
underground.
ahead
Yeah,
under.
but she's in full plate. You can't use the talent. Can't use stealth talents when
I
you're
mean,
in plate.
I've got
Even with their
stealth
special Knights
underground.
Panther plate.
Oh,
She
she,
hasn't got
does
that
have
yet.
Knight's Panther plate.
And
Point taken.
and I have silent step too.
That's the talent. That's the talent I was talking about. You
Yeah.
can't use it in full plate, but if you have Knight's Panther plate,
I
which you
do.
do, then yes,
Yeah.
you
The
can
three
use
of
the
us
talent.
should go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
Nice
Alamein just can't not go. It's
Yeah.
such a compulsion. Like it's
Yeah.
so important.
Plus
And you've got your little torch thing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't
because
know
you've
it.
lost
Doesn't
it.
Lost
got nothing.
everything.
Can we
How's
take
that
your torch?
Dead
Oh, you
day.
can take my
Everyone
knife, yes, if you
is
wish.
dead day.
Us three. Well, let's
Is that
go.
all right?
We'll
The
need a
lantern and like does it close? Is it
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of those?
It's a
Yeah,
hooded,
it's a
yeah.
fine hand. It's
Yeah.
good.
So it
Good.
will
So,
keep it small.
so you and
Birdie.
are moving ahead. Geralt going with you?
Take this as well.
Can he
It's
sneak
just chalk.
too?
Oh
Does
yeah,
he have
he's
stealth
the one
underground?
who taught
Just
you how to use the
chalk
plate in the
mark
first
way,
place.
So
So
if we're
yes.
following, we can
Yeah.
find
He
you.
can come if he's quiet.
Come on, cat boy.
He's like, much more quiet than you.
Why is my squire better at everything than I am?
Because he's been training at it for the last
Stop
5
shouting.
years. You've been training for about 2 weeks.
Because he doesn't yell stuff like that when he's in the
Fair point.
As you all make your way off.
Gerhardt has given you made chalk as well, so...
Nice. So
mark
you can
it.
lay
Yeah.
markings.
That's why I bought it.
Draw penises.
Away you
That's
go.
fine, as long as the head of the penis is pointing in the direction we need to go. That's fine.
Wow. Group number 1. Making your way ahead.
Downtown.
The corridors twist and turn. Rough hewn passages. Move left, move right, split and split again.
Any skaven sign?
This place. You can smell in the air blood. But there's no markings or scratchings. And as you're making your way forward, making small chalk signals as you go, after about 3 or 4 minutes of moving forward, you hit one of your own chalk signals.
We're in labyrinth.
Oh no.
In the distance, Alamein, you can hear what sounds like screams of dying.
I can hear screams.
High-pitched squeals.
Let's go towards those.
Screeches. Off down that corridor.
Okay.
The other party moves down into these twisting
We'll mark.
corridors.
I'll mark that we,
Yeah.
go differently.
Screams that way. It's
gone
just
this
gonna
way.
be like screams, terror.
Come on, Leopold. Come on.
I don't want to go.
As you slowly but surely make your way, following blind in your case, after the chalk marks that have been laid around. As Gerhardt, you reach a chalk mark that says, "You will never find us."
Fuck off.
Do you know that?
You maybe we've talked about this.
That was supposed to be a penis.
Couldn't have been more clear.
Yeah. Keep your nihilism to yourself.
Oh no.
It's too late.
Too late.
Okay, either
Bands
this,
of-
Zakinski
Drums
looks
and
at that and goes, "What the fuck?"
okay, well, this is either a joke, and it's a poor one, or something's changed.
Father, do you hear anything?
Do yourself a perception test, please.
Oh, am I out of it now?
Yeah. We're moving at a decent cut.
Ooh. Wha-ha! No, but it's I rolled exactly my skill,
Okay.
which means that's 7, 8, 9, 10 successes.
Karate.
Chains.
Yeah.
You hear chains. Chains clacking. Clink, clack, clink, clack. Clacking in the distance. Manacles.
Manacles. And I'll point in the vague direction. Manacles. I think. Chains.
Right, but do you hear Alamein or Birdie or that's
No,
it?
I literally hit
Alamein,
chains.
as you're moving towards the screams take on a different tenor. Up ahead. Squeal, squeal, and then
I can't go this way.
comes the call. As she turns around and says, "Not this way," and stabs you.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Do I get an
With your
opportunity?
own
Attempt to dodge
sword.
if you wish to do
With-
so.
yeah,
Oh,
with your
yes,
own-
with your own sword. Please, I didn't give you my gun.
No, I do not dodge.
Okay, and the blade goes directly into your chest. And she looks down at you and laughs.
That's not very nice. Ow.
Got you, she says. Skaven puppet. Hey, father!
I might need a
The
character
clink,
soon.
clank, clink of chains. Clink, clank, clink of chains as you hear a voice in the distance. Found you.
Oh no.
Found you. And your back itches.
No, not
That's not good.
No, itchy backs are the worst.
Zakinski goes, "I hear an orc."
An orc.
as an enormous orc.
Oh,
It's not even possibly
be that one.
doubtful. Okay, charges him. It's at least a head taller than he is, with arms that are as wide as his torso, and punches him. As you back off and see to the other side a goblin run. You may through from behind. Blood spurts.
It's probably a Shallion.
Shallion goblin.
Hey, Gerhardt. You can hear screams. Birdie screams. Birdie screams. You don't know why you know, but you know what's happening. You've known for a while that she was pregnant. You've known for a while. As you dart off after her.
How? I never get any.
As a
hiding.
crow
Hiding.
flaps by.
Hiding.
Flap, 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 flap. And another one flaps by. And you look out to your hand and
Oh,
watch
no.
your hand
No.
grow before you. Itching in your back.
No, this can't be happening. It's not happening. No, go away. Go away.
A chain comes out of the blackness and wraps around your head. Not again. Not again. And another goes for your arm, and
No,
another
no,
as you start
Try and
hooks
run. Yeah.
pull into your body as you are yanked in different directions. And there in front of you is a fox, oh so innocent, as a tail pops out, and another pops, and another pops, and another pops, as an eye blisters and pops, and the red fur slowly ripples white. Pop, pop, pop. Found you. Found you.
Just trying to shrink as much as well.
It's time to meet your father. Your real father.
No, thank
No.
you.
Politely decline.
Yumi has collapsed. Blood spilling everywhere as you twist round. Gerhardt, an orc, just picks him up and tears him in two in front of you. And laughs. And throws a bit of Gerhardt at you. It thuds into your chest. Ow.
Yeah, he's channeling.
Do yourself a cool test. Called a channeling
Cool.
test.
Cool, 7 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And then his channel, 6 successes. So he's got 12.
Sadly, if you're not channeling Ulgu, you can't channel. Skaven be fucked.
So then, does he get that sense as soon as he tries?
Nothing's happening.
Cool.
Nothing.
He's charging the goblin.
As you charge over at the goblin, and the goblin's gone in front of you, and beyond the goblin, on the other side, is Leopold, facing off against an orc. The big orc looms over him with a hammer blow, with its great chopper, goes right through his collarbone, into his chest, and through. Leopold twists round and says, "Where were you?" Ouch. Ouch. Your wings spread.
It's not happening.
The worst part is, finally you're back. It's the opposite of it's not happening.
Yay!
As a part of you exalts, and the celestial canopy spreads before you, and all of possibility. Oh no. You'd almost forgotten every possibility ends in the same. What have you done? Be'lakor. And the fox prowls around you. Be'lakor.
Nope.
Fox prowls around you. Be'lakor. Where are you, Elric? Comes a voice. Elric! You think that's Alamein, you're not sure? And then you hear a gurgle as
He's just running in whatever direction that voice is.
there's Birdie. She is giving birth to the thing within her. That thing that has been rising and rolling. But it's coming out of the stitches you made.
Okay.
And you see the stitches. You don't understand. Why would the stitches, the 3 circular stitches you made, be so wrong? As it begins to crawl out of Birdie's belly. Green, postulant, large, swollen, also pregnant pustules, each of which are ripe and ready to burst. Each of which have a whole new version of what lies within, ready to go. It just never stops. And it wouldn't have happened if you'd stitched her properly. You've caused this. You are responsible.
He'll run to Birdie's side, grab her hand, and just say, "I'm sorry. I thought I did it right."
You're on the ground, and you hear Gerhardt saying, "I didn't do it properly, I'm sorry," and then stabs you in the belly, in the gut, like so, with a blade. "Should have done this years ago. You are worthless," he says, and the blade pulls.
Can I react?
And pain, if you wish.
Yes, I think that's reasonable.
Jolly good.
Yeah. Leopold, you lift up. The chains are pulling at you. And there are the trees, unfolding, and stones rising on all sides.
There's nothing I can do. Only like try and scream out for Sigmar, but I'm guessing the hooks on his face make that impossible.
Wings spread on the back of the fox as it slowly reasserts into what it is, and its neck lengthens and lengthens and becomes slowly more vulture-like at the head, with a great beak fringed with multicolored feathers. Goes the beak,
So start being like, you're lying, you're lying.
twisting round. As it spins with its long neck around you, the wings beating out. And its long tongue clacks again as it goes, "Come to daddy." As it spins around.
She fumbles for her sword.
They're coming,
I want to
all
go
the
back.
crows.
But I want to go back.
It's, Leopold that hears it. "Onwards to death!" comes the call. And bursting through the great forest he finds himself in is an orange-crested dwarf. Followed by another and another, axes flailing into screaming skaven. Screaming. Almost like these skaven are just giving their lives. And as he goes, the fabric of reality that sits before him, almost like a wake behind a ship, splits. And he realizes he's in a cavern. Completely confused. On the ground, his face is still numb from everything that was attached to it. He can feel it still, sort of. Maybe. Sort of. Over there, other skaven are just rolling around. Birdie is on the ground, screaming. Holding herself, screaming. Tears flooding from her eyes. As beside you, a dwarf goes by, like so, big pair of goggles on, goes, and passes by. They're useless, all of them, the stupid fuckers! As he swings around.
Harsh.
We found the Elgi! He says, as he bellows through. You hear feel a on your face.
Yeah.
My balls.
Happy birthday.
You don't understand because there is Birdie. There's Birdie, and then you look up and it's a blonde-haired man. What that? As he says, "You all right, mate?" As he slaps your face.
Yeah.
Get out of it!
Yes, no, I'm fine now. Thank you.
There's tears in your eyes. Where's Birdie? Where's Birdie? Where the fuck is Birdie?
And I will run to basically to the side of her.
She's not there. She's gone.
Right, then I will grab him by the fucking
Lapel.
very big woman, white hair, in armor. Have you seen her?
As he goes, it's a spell, mate. You've been caught in a spell or something.
Right. Same question still stands.
All right. You didn't quite grasp how much you were curled up on the ground. It's your own voice that surprises you. You hear yourself saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," before you realize it is yourself. And you're the one saying it. Standing over you, there's a dwarf with an axe looking down. He goes, "Well, that's a bit pathetic, mate." He says, "Maybe you should stand up." He says, "It might be a bit easy. I'd be sorry if I were you two." He says, "Big lad like you, curled up on ground, like you're some sort of..." And he pauses. "Ilgi."
They're dead. They're all dead, and I could have stopped it.
He says,
They're dead.
Right you are." He says, "There's not much doom to be had here." He says, he looks around. "Well, let me help you up, lad." He smells of alcohol, urine, and other rather musty odours.
Menoites. No. She's going to love that.
As he goes off. "Oh," and just stops. "Oh." In front of him, whole host of weapons pointed. "Oh." He says. And he's making a decision.
Yeah.
As you hear off in the distance, "It's bloody gnommy." He says, "There's only one thing I hate more than bloody gnommy, and it's elves." He says, "You got me here, Felix." He says, as Felix goes, "Oh shit, he called me by my name." And he says, "I think the one you're looking for is over there."
Right.
Gotrek! He's just sitting there looking angry.
At the weapons.
And behind the weapons are skinny dwarves. Long beards, weapons pointed out, and all their weapons are obsidian and stone. And yeah, maybe that's why you couldn't cast your spells. The magic is just spiraling into them.
So is even like Elric's staff?
You can see the actually getting sucked into.
So, but it still is working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, are we attacking?
One of the dwarves who is there says, "That's no way to go." as one of them says, "You'll be coming this way, sir." He says, "You'll be coming this way or you'll all be dead, and you know you'll be dead, won't you now, Mr. Slayer?" He says, "You know you ain't got no chance here. We've got old treaties, we do." He says, "Unless, of course, you're going to be going back on them. I hear you're honourous dogs and all that, you with the crested heads and all that." He says, "Or ain't you got no honour? If you want to come, feel free, you'll all be dead." And from the back, "I ain't fucking dying in home." He says, "No fucking way, Gotrek! You're the one that brought me here. It wasn't me." He says, "Wasn't me, it was him! Bloody manling!" He says, Felix goes, "Parlay?" And we'll see what happens
That was an option.
after the break.
Hi, I'm Andy. You've just been watching me playing LAWhammer. Hopefully you're enjoying what we're doing, and you might want to go check out our Patreon, where you can see all of the special rules that Andy Law has written for this, as well as all the maps, the careers, and everything that he's done. You may even want to fling a little money our way, which we can spend on lights, cameras, mics, or we can just blow it all on hats. You may want to visit our friendly Discord community as well, where people chat about the episodes and come up with their various theories and conspiracies and so on. So any support you can give us, that'd be great. But whatever you do, like, subscribe, and smash the bell for notifications.
Prison. Prison. Perhaps Felix's biggest surprise was that the axes of the dwarves would not lift. They chose not to attack these large bearded fellows at all. So when he found himself somewhat unexpectedly being trooped with slayers to prison under the mountains, it's fair to say that this would not be one of the most expected outcomes that he's had. Our glorious heroes have it no different. However, the dwarves do kick up a fuss when Felix was going to get separated and put in the same rooms as you. "Nope. He's with us. I suppose he's with us." "Aye, sir, there he is." Some quizzical faces poke at whatever that dwarf. "Aye, hold yourself." As the dwarves get trooped off into one prison, and you get trooped off as the humans into another. Prison is not one of those ones where you go, "Hey, maybe I can, scrape away at the edge of a stone, pick it." No, it's just a cavern that's only this tall at the mouth. And they just put a big stone in it.
Oh, wow. Great.
And then you see whispering shadows go along the edge of it. And they continue to whisper the entire time you're in there. The dwarves, though, are not that far away, because you even hear one of them going, "Shut up!" Either they're having an argument, or they don't like the whispering shadows. Whichever it is, you're not certain. You're not plunged into complete darkness, though. Because there is a single candle in the opposite side to the door, burning. It does suggest, though, that either you're going to be plunged into darkness soon, Or if you're Leopold, you just don't care. It's Sakinsky who makes a comment which is not exactly welcome. So, there's not that much air in here. You know, if I breathe in. He says, I'm not sure I like this. I hope this is going to be a short-term thing.
Have we been stripped of all of our gear?
And that's where it again gets a little more difficult. The gnomes. The shorter individuals. You've never seen them or their ilk in your life. We know they're gnomes. You don't.
Alamein, I
They
knows what they are.
have, of course you do.
Tiny humans.
They
Mountain dwarfs.
have an uncanny sense for this kind of stuff. And everything that's magical has been stripped. Everything that's divine has been stripped. And you don't even notice until you are in the chamber. And you realise your staff's not in your hand. You were quite convinced that you were holding it as you crawled through. But on the other side, it's gone. And it's a bit of a, what the? And the bracers are still there.
Oh?
Yeah. It looks like they're not as uncanny as they thought. Bracers are still there. Your ring's gone, though.
Oh.
Quite.
Her sword?
What about
Gone.
Sword?
Oh no.
That is not good. I hope they don't open that. Go badly.
Oh, what we got here? Oh, dear.
What about her fans? Because I think one
Fans,
of them's magical.
fan is with you.
Okay.
They haven't taken your weapons unless your weapons are of a special interest to them.
So my axe.
Oh, no, your axe is gone.
Yeah, but everything else. Is
Everything else is fine.
fine. Easy come, easy go.
And you find yourself in a very dark chamber with whispering, constantly circling over in the corner. It's also worth saying one other thing. Everyone gained one stress point. What you went through was
Horrid.
actually awful. Yeah, that'll be a cool test for you. I think we believe you've gone over your stress threshold over there, Leopold.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I've been
Oh
over.
no! I failed.
He's not cool.
I've gone over mine as well.
Not good.
Yeah,
Not
do,
good.
do yourself a cool test. Yeah, not good, not good, not good, not good, not
Can I
good.
start
Can-
kicking the boulder?
Can you see
Yeah, you
me?
can give it a
Banging
go.
my
See if
heel
you
on
can
it.
get-
Panicking, like, I need to get
Yeah,
out.
like
I
no,
can't breathe. I
wait,
can't breathe.
You can always see Birdie, right?
Yeah, so you get +2 to that.
Oh, plus only if I pass though.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I
So,
failed by like
2
3%.
successes.
You're fine. Oh, so close.
5 successes.
But I'm not using my one divine reroll
Bang,
for that.
bang, bang,
Again,
bang,
you
bang.
can just
Yeah,
be
you're okay.
stressed, don't
You're
I am
bang.
like 4 points over, but like, you know.
Okay. Yeah, you're on the edge. You can almost hear it crawling, trying to get into the chamber. And at the back of your head, you're quite certain it's coming. And the name is circling in your head.
Like that. I'm gonna not gonna share that now, because it could hear me.
Minawith, you have no shard. You are captured. You are in a very dark place. But hey,
I don't have many stress points. Though.
it seems your master was right.
I don't know.
It's powerful. Dropping your mask.
Yeah.
So,
I'm empowered by smug.
And also, high
Elf.
5 humans.
Oh, so yeah, you passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human.
Well done, Alan.
so
Just to check, after Sakinsky said there's not much air in here, Gerhardt's got his little bag of dirt.
Mm.
This is why you bring a bag of dirt underground. You'll go to the little circular entrance bit and just finally
You'll
like.
have to move Leopold, who's standing in the way.
No, I can do it around you. You're just kicking it.
yeah.
It's just annoying. It's not.
as you're
getting
sitting
in
there,
the way.
he's sitting there, kick, 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 kick.
Yeah, just.
Occasionally rubbing his bandage, kick, kick, as you drop it down. And
It's
as you
doing
do,
something.
the
I can
earth
feel something fall.
drifts away
Yeah,
from
fine.
it. Like
So
there's a
there might be
small
some
wind
air.
there.
All right, there's no problem in terms of that because there's still air coming in, so that's fine. Leopold, you all right?
No, I'm not alright.
Okay,
I want to get out.
right. We're okay
Maybe,
here.
We will.
maybe I can tell you what happened when I was captured by the Grey Seer, in case I should die horribly, and you need to take the news back to Middenheim.
Cheerful. Okay.
So his name is Thorm Crittle,
Whose name? Sorry.
Never heard of him.
the Grey Seer.
Right.
The one with Barracool.
The one who had Barracool, but
No, Husbark.
has Barracool.
Yes.
Well, he might be dead.
He might be. Who knows where he
Who
is?
has Barracool, yes.
Barracool!
Whoa.
Karak Zornaz!
Oh, wait,
Ah!
wait, hang on. What?
They just unsheathed them both.
So it must be in the same place, maybe?
In the same place.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it felt close.
How could they be doing that? I thought.
Well,
That direction.
they've
can
clearly
feel the
taken.
spiral rune
Over there.
and up.
Higher level, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
You're never going to get out of here. You're trapped forever.
Yeah. I mean, how far away does the silver flame feel?
Forever.
Impossibly far away.
So this Thorm Crittle,
Take his dagger and try and shove his dagger down the edge.
Wait, I'm sorry, Alamein and wife. Maybe let's.
Sort this out.
Can we just try and intervene?
We gotta
Yeah.
stop the
If
rest
you
of
wish
this
to
thing.
intervene, what are you doing?
try and do it.
Just kind of putting her arms around his shoulder and going,
Get off!
it's okay.
Get
It's
off!
okay.
Get off!
Just
Get off!
breathe. I'm not going to.
Birdie, remember
Dragonski, help me!
we talked about
No.
consent.
Sakinski goes, should we be getting out of here or not?
No, we're fine. We'll just take a moment.
I don't think breaking out is going to get us into anything but horror. They haven't killed us yet, which hopefully means they'll want
He
to
rolls
talk
his
to
eyes.
us.
Fucking yet.
What are they?
Well,
They're,
Dwarves, I
Were
think.
they
they're
dwarves?
mountain dwarves
We're
from the
still
Nomi
armed.
clan. My master told me about them. They are, they gather magical artifacts. You know, I presume like dwarves have a natural antipathy.
Sort of like.
I don't really know.
They better give me my staff.
somebody give Leopold some weird root.
Ah.
Do you want?
Or chloroforming.
Not something you'd know.
Visions
I'm
of
weaving
Sigmar.
the
Visions
others-
of Sigmar.
others-
I mean, do I get a
Yeah, of course you can.
sixth sense test?
Yeah,
or do I
totally.
even need that?
Shh.
No, don't. Stop.
I mean, I failed the sixth sense roll. To be fair.
It's all right.
Combat
we're just
aware?
gonna have a pause. We're gonna have a pause.
Use
That's
the
all we're going
sleeping
to
Combat
drink.
aware? I passed the combat aware.
If you wish to hold him off, you can do so.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll fucking smack his arm.
Contested strength test.
It's not weapons. I mean, I'm
Yeah, but-
vitriolically slapping, so I thought weapons go first.
Oh, if you wish to hit him.
Yeah,
I mean,
slap
no,
him.
no,
Just
it'd
to slap him. No,
Really
I don't
funny
want.
if you crit.
But I'm just choosing to slap him, so I can choose not to.
You
crit,
can
can't
withdraw.
I?
Yes, you can
Yeah.
indeed. Pull your blows, as they say.
I mean, I got 2 successes because I'm guessing drilled doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. So
He might have
you've
beaten
been
me.
bashed away,
might
blasted
have beaten
away,
me.
unless you've managed to somehow translate the looks, please.
5 fails.
Yeah, you've been battered away quite successfully.
Leopold,
You clarified yourself.
I understand you want to get out, but look at this logically. The dwarves had a treaty with them. The dwarves chose not to fight them. They haven't killed us. We can talk to them if they give us a chance to. They wouldn't just put us in here and leave us here to die.
Why not? We're not dwarfs. We don't have no trees.
Well, why wouldn't they just kill us?
Sakinski frowns as he sits in the corner and goes, it's a fair point, that is.
Maybe the spine on us right now. You don't feel the eyes.
We're
spine
not-
on us all the
He's
time.
not
now.
in
We're not
logical
dwarf
place.
friends, are we? After
No.
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 But-
You have to do something extraordinary.
Fucking
We're-
saved their lot, whatever.
We're dwarf.
Acquaintances.
Mates.
Mates.
We once worked with dwarfs, so
Yeah.
We did a good
We're Facebook
turn
friends.
for the dwarves near prison walls.
You did.
We're dwarf tolerated.
We're connected on LinkedIn.
That's about it.
Yeah, we're not
well,
pals.
look, all we can do is wait. There's no none of my magic here. Alamein, you might have a different take.
Nothing. It's dead to
No.
you.
No. There's nothing, so let's just wait. Al was saying there's a grey seer.
A grey seer. His name was Thorm Crittle, and he thought I worked for Thankwall. So he took the opportunity, as Thankwall's failed assassin, to tell me everything he knew about Thankwall's terrible plan. It was similar to a plan that he had, but he had discarded it because it was so bad. The big rat that we destroyed, the engineer was not lying. Thankwall has access to something similar. I didn't fully understand it, but he has the means to take control of key figures in the Empire, and he plans to do so to wreak war and havoc and have ultimately the Skaven rise up and
Do
win.
whatever Skaven do.
do whatever they
Take
do.
over the world. That's
But-
usually their plan.
It seems almost certain that he either has the Emperor already or will have him soon. Boris perhaps the same, and potentially the Countess, although I believe that my master, who is in Nuln,
As she says the word Countess, you shake slightly as a vision hits you. There's a part of you that doesn't like this vision. Part of you that doesn't like it at all. It's Alamein right.
I hate it when Alamein right.
Yeah. You hate it when Alamein White's right. The end is coming. That's why she's right. The prophecy isn't wrong. The prophecy's real. It's a real prophecy. That's why it's being spread. That's why it's being spread. You had an assumption back when you were in the temple, back when you were at the synod, that it was all a lie and that everyone was receiving the lies of the chaos gods. But no, you now understand with a certainty that doesn't require mortal comprehension per se, that no, she was right, and that's why they spread it, because the certainty of the end is true, and that brings them power. If anything, it brings the inevitability of it even faster, because people side with winners. And upon that, you can see it. You know that she's right, and that certain things are hidden. Certain things are hidden. And at the sound of the word Countess, you realise that she has to ally herself with someone hidden by Alamein. By someone hidden by Alamein, presumably in Middenheim. And yes, that's exactly the same vision that Leopold had. Last episode. Leopold. Exactly the same awareness.
He's a mutant with bunny ears.
and
I just had another vision. The Countess is really important. You have to. The Countess is to ally with, not with you, but with someone in Middenheim under your protection. That's the only way that can be kept hidden. Is the Countess needs to ally with the North.
well, right.
Well, if we can ever get out of here, then we know where we need to go. I guess.
Well, how do we get to the Countess of
it's-
Nuln?
Well,
Well, it sounds like she'll come to us.
send her a letter.
Well, maybe that would work for her.
I already asked I already asked the Todbringers to contact Nuln. That was when I advised Boris, he took me into his room and asked me for advice. My advice was exactly that. That he should find allies. So I would hope that they're already making overtures to the south. And we can return with an even greater knowledge that that is the right thing to do. Yes, so
Yes.
the Purple Hand are in control in Altdorf, as we thought. Which means that if they're controlling the Emperor, they're probably controlling a copy. Which means the question is for us, where is the real Emperor?
Well, if you've any sense, you'd have killed him.
But not if you need him, which we know they do, because if the copy dies, which it can do,
They might
Karl
need to
Franz
make
has a
another one.
dangerous life, then they get another copy from their vats, and they copy the original's mind into the new copy.
Well, we know that
Sloppy.
there's
They have to keep them alive.
big rat like under Altdorf, right? So maybe they have bats there as well.
I mean, is that how it works? They have to copy from the original. They can't copy from.
Maybe
Because-
they could copy from another.
Well, remember we got rid of all the copies They stored them in the brains and the jars and the...
That was the memories. It wasn't the bodies. Maybe
But
those
that-
terrible bodies were copies of the copy, and they know they need to do it from the original.
It's the memories. I mean, maybe that's a way to find out duplicates, gaps in memory. If they're being updated from the original, well, then they won't have the memory between when the first
Well,
copy.
But we know that they go round with their device.
topping up.
I don't know what the word would
But
even
also,
be.
the
God, you
world
saw
is
them, didn't you?
being changed. There are gaps that are.
You know, if say you fall in a fight, you get a bang on the head, you wake up and you've missed 10 days.
I mean,
Soldiers,
it's not
a famous thing.
ironclad, but it's something to look for. It's a clue.
It's worth a try.
And I do not believe that they have copied Katerina. We didn't see her in the vats, and Skaven. I mean, from what I have
You
encountered
did
of
see
them,
Boris, though.
we saw Boris. They don't care for women.
No.
Me neither.
And
But
also,
they did. The Countess was there.
Yeah, but the Countess is already in
Probably.
power.
Maybe.
Was
The Countess
there?
is in
As a
power.
guess. You had a
She
guess
was.
it might be her. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was a
none of
blonde
us would
woman.
know what
Yeah.
she looks like.
well, I think you said I met her.
Yes,
at
you
some
did,
point,
and you
I
came to a
thought it
conclusion.
was
You
her.
thought it was the Countess.
What I mean is the Countess is in power, so they would want to copy her. Katerina is famously...
She
Not in
pretended
power.
to not be very smart and stuff.
She's
as
not
well.
very smart.
But also,
She's
she
a
was
good
never.
woman.
She was
and she
never in
wants to
line
do
for
the right
power.
thing. She was never in line. She should never have inherited. I think she might be one of the safest options for us to protect. Even if it is just so she can advise Boris because he trusts her.
And we should maybe look out for those.
Assuming Boris is even Boris.
But even if he isn't Boris,
If he's doing Borisy things.
This is the thing that I always find difficult to wrap my head around is if you don't know that you're a clone or a copy, how do you know that
you're
you're
fine.
doing the right thing?
You're fine until someone like Thanquol uses something and takes control over you. They're like
Right.
sleeper agents.
Okay, I don't know
So-
what that is.
They're like spies who go behind enemy lines for many, many years and ask their friends to say cast a spell on them so they don't remember who they are. And then
Oh, so,
at the moment that the spell is triggered, they remember everything and they assassinate a king, say.
so what's sort of what you're doing in terms of repressing your memories of your previous existence?
I don't do that, no. Completely different.
But so
But you've absolutely assassinated the king, though.
No.
Okay, so it was a very specific example.
Write it down.
we know that
Hell
there's
slide.
a big rat under our door,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's not very good at copying things, but it definitely can be used to
To
take
control.
over. So we could check if we went to outdoors.
We don't know it's not very good at copying things because that mad engineer who told us that told us a number of things that I think were false.
Some, he definitely
He
lied.
was lying, wasn't he?
He did lie.
At the very least, if there is one, we could use it to check because the copies are enterable, right? Like the original isn't, but the copies, if someone sits in Big Red, can go into them. So we
Yes,
could
that's
check.
The copies are somewhat flawed.
Sure.
So, I mean, the Emperor has been said to be unwell every so often.
Yeah.
Quite a few times and famously.
And also they had Marius Leitdorf, who was said to have gone a bit crazy, right?
Oh, but he's always
Yeah.
been crazy.
But,
And-
or
Well,
maybe
he's always been a
he's
big rat person.
was
Yeah.
the first one.
And
you
the
know?
king,
Oh,
and the
could
king
it
of
be?
Could have been the
Bretonia.
first.
Could have.
Yeah, the king of Bretonia as well.
Yes.
We saw in a jar.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did we know it was the king of Bretonia?
He was
Has
very.
anyone met him?
Gerhard probably knew.
Yeah.
He had
loves
loads of
the French.
onions and.
So, like, seriously, how did we know he was
And
the
the
king?
menu
Someone just-
of
Yeah.
Chez Louis.
I recognize
You
them
recognise
from when
them
he
from
came
court,
to
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't have written that down randomly.
Yes.
Yeah,
those
Andy
are
would have
the
told us if we hadn't.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just
As you
couldn't
say
remember.
that, there comes a scraping by the stone at the entrance to your candlelit cavern.
Bonjour.
How romantic.
And a small rush of slightly stale air comes in as the stone comes back. A couple of spear points
Oh.
come out. The obsidian you can feel from here causes you to feel itchy, actually uncomfortable. You do not want that to touch you. It's almost enough to cause a visceral reaction, a little bit like how when you feel sick and nauseous, You can't really control yourself. You might walk a little bit more gingerly because you're feeling nauseous. You can't just run, but if you did, you might be sick. A similar sensation of it. You want to be careful about that.
So I get the more physical thing of like it's like a hot poker and it's like repelling almost.
Yeah, quite. And as they come through and you hear, "You should be coming through now." He says, "All of you now's no trouble." He says, "We don't want no troublemakers. If there's any troublemakers, well, we'll be making trouble in turn." He says, "And you don't want anyone from us making trouble for you. Yous don't want me troubling from us. Come on through now. Come on through."
Walt loophole is straight through, causing no trouble.
No
Looking
trouble.
as meek as he can, get me out of this hole.
Big lanky man.
Big noses, big ears, big beards. All of them wearing red caps. Every single last one of them.
Pointy ones?
No.
Fishing
They
rods.
sort of flop to the side.
Oh.
As they're holding their weapons. At the back is what you reckon is almost certainly a sorceress. She has holding in her hand direct evidence of it. It's a skull floating. As she looks at you all and says, "I will be causing you problems if you'll be causing me problems. Now you might remember what you saw in them tunnels." She says, points at it. "That is what you felt in the tunnels, and I can release it at any moment. If I should die," she says, "well, it just releases. And you'll be lost in it forever. There ain't no coming back. It's as simple as that. Now, do you understand?"
No trouble.
Excuse me.
This sounds like trouble.
Is it true?
Looks at you. "Well, if you get lost in it, it better well not be." One of the ones at the side, big long beard, turns round and says something in a tongue you have never heard before. And she says something back. And he says, "I am ready," he says, "with me pointy, to be stabbing you, 'cause you're trouble." He says, "We recognise trouble." And he says something back to her, and she says, "Oh." And then he goes, "Oh." He smiles slightly, a big bearded smile. "You be going first now." He says, "You be going first." He says, "We don't trust you one bit. There's something wrong about you. Something wrong about you right through to the core of you. Right through to the core of you. Did you hear me?
She'll not.
Go!
No trouble.
You after, witch boy. On off you after. You, elf," pointing you. "You go after.
Of course.
Go.
Go
You, Lanky. You, Lankier. You last."
Oh, it's hurtful.
As
Much worse.
you go,
What about Sakinski and
Sakinski
etc.?
going along in the front.
Oh, yeah.
Manuel will go with you.
Very happy.
As you all get directed along through tunnels. The tunnels right beside the prison are pretty tall. Past the prison, they only come up to about there
No.
on Elric.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm a giant.
They have to stoop.
Hands and knees time.
Yeah.
And yes, it's hands and knees time.
Yeah.
I can have a cool test, please, Leopold.
Oh, I passed this one.
Oh, good. You can get through here.
Plus
Sweat is dribbling down into the bandages around your eyes.
9 successes.
Yeah. Okay, you are not feeling very good about this. Moving through here. This is not fun. This is not what you intended to do at the start of the day. Everything has gone wrong. A part of your cheek is still numb where a hook sunk in. Everything has gone. There's manacles. No, there's not manacles around you. There's no, there's not manacles. There's manacles. There's not manacles.
It's me armor.
As you get led along. At the back, occasionally you get a slight jab up your buttock from one of the figures at the back. You keep going now.
No, I'm going as
Says
fast
at
as
the
I
back.
can.
About every third jab, you hear from behind you. Jab.
Are you adding gnomes to the list that also has halflings?
Yes. Yeah.
And we make our way through.
Imagine them meeting Dumpling.
And it spreads out into, what might be described as the opposite of a great dwarven hall. This is the underneath of a mound, packed earth across the ceiling with stones in it at various points. Each one of these you can sense is yanking out the magic from you.
Just obsidian stone.
You're taken across this open chamber, then down through more tunnels. And then you go through the charnel halls. That's the only words that come to mind. Bodies. Bits of bodies. Guts. Bits of people. Traipsed up, some of them dry, an old foot. Walls dripping with blood over there. No, slowing down now, he says. It's just how the king wants it.
Can Gerhardt just do a medicine check or something to look at like the selective viscera and things, just to clock how many potential bodies that were here, or if it is legit?
Is that a supernumerate medical check?
It's a combo, yeah.
Nice.
2 successes. If it's
Lots, multiple species, and what surprises you most is how much greenskins there is. And what really surprises you most is how much you don't know about greenskins.
I was going to say, the fact that I can identify that is pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
it's obvious because their internals are a different colour entirely. They're all black and dark green. I mean, it's not surprising, but at the same point, it's kind of surprising. They're so very different to anything that you've seen inside the various medical books that you've been studying, because they've all, broadly speaking, been about humans. And this is just different. The viscera is different. Everything's different. This is horrible. Can I please have a cool test from everyone? Going through charnel halls is not fun. It requires to be unaffected completely and be medical, for example, 5 successes. Anybody who's got indifferent blood and guts does not need to test.
7 successes.
Do I get the bonus on a pass from Birdie?
Yes, if you've got a pass, because Birdie kind
6
of...
successes.
Everyone who can see Birdie will.
Yeah.
Everybody gets an
So
extra
9
check.
successes.
Except for Birdie, who failed.
Poor Birdie.
Welcome to my world.
8 successes.
Nice.
I got 6.
6, good. It's only Birdie. Poor Birdie. Take yourself a stress point, please.
3 for me.
Okay.
Have you gone over your limit again?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Well, I
you'll
didn't
be,
go back under it. Did
Yeah,
I?
so you'll be testing again. Cool test, please,
Okay.
as you're making your way through here.
Nope, that's a fail as well.
We'll be covering what that means for you later.
Gerhardt took a stress point as well.
You'll be doing yourself if you're over your stress limit.
No,
you're
I'm
not.
not.
You're fine. Okay. It's quite different being up front with it.
Different limits.
There, seeing it, so different to books, and you're not entirely sure you like it. It takes about another 4 or 5 crawls before the vomit comes.
He probably thought, I should write a book about orcs. And then he thought about the idea of studying orcs and how difficult that would be.
And here
And then
comes the
the,
upchuck. Birdie, you're immune to such things. You're not bothered by... There's something so very different to seeing all the outside bits in comparison to all the inside bits.
When I didn't do it, yes.
It's so very... No, it's just different. You're used to blood. This isn't blood. I mean, there's blood on all the walls, but this is bits. Some of it's old and wizened. Some of it's fresh. Some of it's freshly hung. There's a skaven head, relatively freshly hung, you'd presume.
This is shades of the guy in Castle Wittgenstein she
Is
had a
it bad?
problem with as well.
This is not nice.
Yeah.
You're getting flashbacks to what you did when you just killed everything. And it did not make you feel good at all.
No.
As you're sick. And on the back, hurry up now! Just a bit of blood! He says, we all got a bit of that inside ourselves.
Oh, that makes it so
That's
much
a-
worse.
Really doesn't help. It takes about 20 minutes to get through these twisting, curving passageways until you come out grubby and blooded on the other side into a far broader stone wrought set of tunnels. Not that much higher. They're about 5 foot in height on average, meaning that most of you need to do a good bit of stooping just to get through here. There's a good that above most of their heads. Meaning that they come to about there in you. As you get trooped through here. Till eventually you're dropped in what you can, let us call it a waiting room since you're waiting. 2 guards stand, both with beards down to their feet. Both beards are white. One of them, neither of whom were with you when you came out, talks out and says, I speak your ears. I do. To them. He says, been out there I have. Oh, a long time ago, though. He nods. King will probably kill you. He says, oh, you might not. He likes to personally decorate the tunnels, so he does.
But why? Why?
Well, that's where the invasions come from. You tend to find most folk, when they see that sort of thing, go, I don't know if I want to be invading anymore. He says, and they don't. I've seen the orc go white, I have. Going up through tunnels like that. You were taken out to one of our outposts, but you have to come through that to get here. He says, heard there were some of you tall folk coming in by our way. He says, well, that is something, isn't it? Oh, King will decide what to do with you. Did you come with dwarves?
They came after.
Well, that's something. We've not had dwarves in our halls for centuries, we ain't. Well, that's something, innit? As he goes, "Brr," in some language. Oh, he says it's something. It sounded more like a swear word to you, but you're not entirely convinced it. It isn't.
Sorry, excuse me. Just this might be a rude question, but I'm not too sure. What are you?
Oh, I'm an halfling. You've never seen a halfling with a beard. A big, huge beard.
Or one that skinny.
Quite. What's that now?
He's got shoes on as well.
Yeah. Tiny little feet too. Tiny little hands.
Emphatically not
dwarf
a halfling.
hands. His tiny little hands. The halfling hands quite big. Stumpy little things.
I told you the mountain.
Okay.
Oh, I'm an halfling. I am. He then says something. The other one goes, as they say something to each other.
Are you sure?
He says, well, I might have the wrong word for it. He says, oh, your language is most definitely a 3rd or maybe 4th language of mine.
Right, fair enough.
And I learned it some time ago. Sometimes I have to sneak out to keep up and all that.
Okay. What's your favourite word?
He says, normally, deaf.
Good.
He says,
Today?
it's why I'm still in guard. He
Oh,
says,
right.
oh, my great-grandson, he says, he's no longer in guard, no. My great-grandson, he's off, no, I won't be telling you that. Let's just say he's not around.
What other languages do you speak?
Oh, he says, I speak a bit of dwarf. He says, I speak a bit of the orc. Always good when you're spotting in them and all that. Oh, quite the expert with the old rat man. He says, bit of beastman. Oh, quite the tongue they got. Poof! It's mostly swear words, so it is. It's very hard just to take a normal conversation. You go out with them and you say, and all you want to say is, excuse me, have you got anything you could be telling me? And you're basically saying he's a big fella with a big horn and the like. Poof. Very, very hard to have a good civilised conversation with those folk. Unlike you, you've got lots and lots of words.
That's really impressive.
Are you an elf?
No, I'm...
Or maybe a baby one?
I get that a lot.
Oh.
I'm from a very far country called Nippon.
Oh. I mean, as he says to the other one, Nippon. And he goes, oh, from the east, you say?
Yes.
Oh. He says, I must be very far away. How did you get here?
On a boat.
Oh, of course. Oh, you humans love boats. Oh, I'm not so keen on the boats. Once you're out there, you never can be certain what's going to happen next, can you? Is it a serpent? A dragon? He says, maybe it'll be one of those big floating castles what does wander around the seas. He says, well, I've heard all about them when I'm out on me travels.
when I were up north, he says, chasing down that big rumour about gates in the lot, he says, when I was up there, of me beastmen pals, well, they weren't exactly me pals, but there were a war of them and all. You know, you've got to put on a gruff voice when you're talking to them, like. When we were up there, floating castles everywhere. Oh, no, didn't like that one bit, so I hiked it out of there. Oh, so I did.
Can I do a quick history check on the idea of flying castles?
Sure.
Floating castles.
Do you speak Elfarine, sir?
He says, oh, no. They're very close-knit folk are those damned elves. They won't be talking about their language too easy. And have you ever tried to read a book about that? Oh, no, you are one. Excuse me while I adjust what I'm saying. No. He says, and you hear a shout from down the corridor. What did you get?
3 successes.
You've heard that some elves have got flying castles, but not flying castles in the north. At least not historically speaking.
Right.
But maybe? Who can say?
Maybe just chatting bollocks.
I mean, I don't think he'd be just lying, would he?
Never.
I mean,
People
This
using
bearded, skinny, small-handed, small-footed
Starting
halfling.
to not
He'll never
trust
lie.
these people.
I mean, you don't actually think he'd lie.
I'm so proud of you. You've been playing with Andy for 3 years, and you finally learned that the NPCs can't be trusted.
No, well, we've not proved that yet. it's a
an
working
hypothesis.
theory.
It's
Yeah.
a hypothesis.
We're testing.
Oh dear! He says, there's been a call. King be wanting to talk to you. He says, I've got a couple of things I will say. Just so you know. He says, between you and me, Gwalathar, he's a bit grumpy. He's a bit grumpy, is Gwalathar. He's me great-granddad, he says. And he's so old now he can't even go on front lines. It's why he decorates the front lines, because he's not old enough to carry his own axe anymore. No, it's the other way around. He's too old to carry his own axe. Of course, that's what I was saying. He says, and like me, he's a Carveth, and we do like to have a bit of a fight, if you know what I'm saying. Well, he can't anymore. He's just a bit old. I mean, he could, but he'd probably die. So, he's grumpy. I don't recommend that you, well, he talks your tongue. I mean, that's something, isn't it? It's not going to be like the poor dwarves. He don't talk none of their tongue. Not one bit of it. And he also don't like them. So, who knows what's going to be happening with them? He says, he don't hate you, though. Mostly. Oh, right, yeah. We gotta go. He says, this way. He says, come on. We're not like those ones that pick you up and won't be poking you in the arse now.
Gar, did you catch the name?
Yes, I've got it.
Is he
Grumpy.
And it turns out he's telling the truth, they are dwarfs.
Yeah.
Is
Grumpy.
he like
Oh.
do we call him Your Royal Highness? Like, what's the...
He says, oh, you can call him whatever you like. He's just the king. He says, I don't think you care that much. I mean, as long as you don't insult him or no. He says,
It's good to be
oh, we're not like you tall folk. We're all bothered about one thing or another. He says, he'll listen to whatever you have to say, and then he'll make his judgment, and then you'll probably be dead. He says, but you might not be.
At least I'll listen.
I mean, some get out. It's just not very many. Between you and me, he says, I mean, because I quite like you, know. Only 3 people in the last 300 years have got out of here.
Great, cool.
How many people have gotten here?
Thousands.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'll admit, most of them were like, you know, the rat men, or the beast men, or the humans. You know, those what are trying to take our, what's the word you use? Loot. He says with a big, white bearded smile, loot. It's my fucking loot, is what he likes to say. He won't be saying that out loud, though. I mean, he might be, but he won't be saying it in your tongue. I mean, he does speak it. I told you that, didn't I? Yes, I did. He says, all right, we better be a bit quiet. Oh, this is going to be fun. He says, I mean, for me, I'm a Carveth.
Staff, you pricks.
And you're
Carveth.
Carveth.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And apparently, you're being taken to the king. The burrows are all relatively crudely hewn from the rock. The walkways you're making the way along are all very well trod, smooth and dipped in the middle where clearly most of them walk. It takes about 50 minutes to get to where you're going. Quite a lot of big-nosed individuals. Big ears twitching. Some take their hats off as you pass by. Put their hats back on again. As at your back, your escort says, well, you got to salute the dead.
Yeah, I was just getting that from them.
He says, it's a solemn day when we have guests.
We all have fate points. It's fine.
We don't. No, we don't.
I don't want to be a decoration.
As you're taken eventually into a tall, domed chamber with several pillars. These pillars were clearly not made by dwarfs because they are ramshackle. Slightly squint, some of them have got bits of stone stuck, others have got large bits of wood holding them up in place. One of them is mostly packed earth from the outside. Above, roots hang from multiple places. At the far side, you presume, is the king. There's a few things that give it away. Number one, he has a throne. And it's raised. So clearly they do have some sort of king decorum. Like that one. He's sitting up in it, and he has the spindliest little legs you've ever seen.
Dangly legs.
Yeah. The spindiest little legs and the spindiest little arms. His beard goes right down past the ground and around the back of his throne. And it is almost entirely red. With bits of people.
Sometimes it's good you can't see.
It's no
Yeah.
It is.
smell.
As you hear a call out. Here! He says, I brought the humans. Humans, this is the Blood King.
Sweet. What a name.
He says, as a hearing trumpet comes up. Slightly bent, large hoot. And he puts his hand, very thin arm, wrinkled old hand, out on a ruby. And I do mean ruby. Not ruby coloured. It's crystal. Ruby axe. Which he taps his finger on the top. His finger looks exceedingly calloused. He has been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Tap, 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 tap. As he holds up and he goes, eh? He says, here! He says, we brought those humans, kill them all! He says, and he goes, no, wait. He says, remember one of them's an elf. Ah! He says, well, what we got then?
Kill humans.
He says, excuse me, I'll just go speak to me grandfather. He's a bit deaf in his ears. And he goes up. And he says things. A lot of airs.
He's the Seagull King.
And he pulls out
They are vicious.
a pair of spectacles.
I mean, mine.
Give my beard. Oh, right. Oh. Picks up his beard. He pulls out his walking stick. Comes forward with his goggles. Comes up, looks at you all. Well, what do we have here then? He says, what are you doing in me holes?
We came seeking a blade. We were asked to by the Duke of Middenheim.
He looks over here. Eh? Crumpet! As for the side.
More firmly.
Another one comes shuffling up, holds it up. You say that again?
A blade was stolen from our liege lord,
And his eyes widen. Oh, you come closer! Come closer! Stab him. He comes up to about your waist, bent over, Closer!
Right, I'm coming closer.
And his eyes look at you. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, no, no, no! No, I will not be tricked! This is a trick! This is a trick! He says, bash, 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 bash with his cane. Oh, no! No! What have you brought me here? I'm not having any of this! What have you brought here? And off to the side, I don't understand what's wrong, grandfather. He says, you brought me a tricksy one! No, I am not happy! I am not happy at all! I am not having it!
It's just a regular human.
This is Alan.
As I don't understand. He says, you go get the tongue of tricks.
That doesn't sound good.
Sounds like a book of grudges, but
That sounds like you may.
They sort of fall silent. Off to the side, you can feel it. Ulgu is gathering on both sides of the hall. You are guessing, because it seems a fair guess, there's probably a lot more here than you can see.
right.
And they are getting ready to do whatever the king demands, which you fear may be evisceration. Decoration for his halls. Slowly but surely, put your gizzards up amongst all the rest of the skaven and beastman bits. Not the best way to go. The Book of Tricks. The Book of Tricks is several stone tablets which are brought in, one by gnomish children. Not a single one of them appears to be adult. Each one of them is around about so high. They're quite short, barely coming up to your knee. Past each one of them, holding two to a tablet, one at one side, another one at the other, and pulling them in and laying them down. It doesn't take long for you to begin to understand the image. It starts off as lots of bits of stones, some of which have got carvings in, until eventually you see a bird take shape, and another bird, and another, and then an elven face, and a very small gnome, with this great elf with wings standing before a tiny gnome. Book of Tricks. What be your name?
Alamein.
No! 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 No, I want her guts! I want her guts! Give me her guts! Well, I don't understand what you're saying. He says, you could be telling me exactly what it is. I mean, if you want them, we can get them for you. He says, no, I'm not allowed them. I promised I wouldn't give them. I've been tricked. He says, I've been tricked.
I'm
He says,
sorry.
I've been tricked. He says, I've been tricked.
Tricked by who?
I want that airship. He says, I want to go flying, says the king. He says, I want their things. Destroy the tablets. And he goes, you want us to destroy the... Well, there ain't real. Then we can just take their things, can't we? Well, I suppose so, if that's what you're saying. No, no. No, I'm not. You tricksy elf. You trick me. You trick me proper. I don't like to be tricked. You're not with them dwarves, though, are you?
Yes, I am.
No, you're not with them dwarves. You say you're not with them dwarves. As he puts his hand over to his axe, and the axe starts to glow red. You are not with them dwarves. Say you are not with them dwarves. I want their airship. It's mine.
They came to save me. They are my allies.
No! No!
I'm sorry.
No! It ain't fair! I want an airship! I want to go flying through the skies like I was when I was a child! I want to get back up there! I want to go into the skies! It's mine! It's mine! It's mine! Say it's mine! Give it to me! Give it to me!
I'm
He
sorry,
says,
but
as
I cannot.
one eye, as he pulls his goggles out of the way, give it! Oh, it's not an elf at all! It's a human! He says, he pulls his glasses. No! It's a human! You tell me it's a human, innit now? I don't think it is. Oh, don't you be! It ain't. It's an elf. Oh no! You are not with them dwarves. Bring in the dwarves!
Oh God.
Flying's great though, isn't it?
Trump, Trump, Trump. The dwarves are not exactly the, let's say, militaristic precision that you saw with the dwarves down at Karak Skygg. They are kind of sauntering in, looking pretty peeved. They've got almost none of their weapons. Some of them don't look happy at all. One of them, as he comes in, you know it's Gotrek. Where's my axe?
We're gonna be even more unhappy hearing why they're getting saved.
Felix sits at the back, looking somewhat sheepish. Just in front. And he says, it ain't entirely my fault. He says, I mean, it isn't. I mean, we didn't know. Get in your pants. As the dwarves come in. These are with you? No, 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 no! Come the slayers. No! No, damn bloody hell, okay? He says, well then they're all dead! Oh, wait a minute, what? What? Comes the reply. What? Oh well, if you're not with her, anyone not with her gets killed by my fellows. Ha ha, we get your airship. And you ain't get my bloody airship! He says, it isn't a hammer a lot! He said, Gotrek! Felix says, all you need to say is that you're with the elf. He rubs at his eye patch. Chain hanging from his nose to his ear dingles slightly. Oh, bloody hell, eh? Felix. Well, you came. I will remember this moment. Turns round, Malachi's looking at him. What the hell? Give me my axe. Hey! He says, here, what? Oh. He be saying he's with the elf. Carry me back to my...
You could ask for a ride.
On the airship. Just.
Obviously.
And this is how we end up with a half-blind, half-deaf king of the gnomes strapped in at the front of an airship as it flies through the air with a whole bunch of very upset dwarves because the only reason they got free was because of a bloody Elgie.
Build the bridges. Look at
And
us.
he, with the beard flapping behind him,
Just
Oh,
as well.
viscera, just.
the biggest smile you've
Spraying
ever
it up.
seen, as bits of skaven and orc and human and others tear off behind it. At the back of the Spirit of Grunye, the dwarves are drinking in commiseration at this ridiculous outcome that they've got. Not only are they giving a joyride to a very old decrepit king and his select family, the Carviths. Carviths that, according to what you can overhear from the back, because most of them speak Reichspiel only. You don't know why, but they do. Felix is back there also, joining in, and you can hear them. And they know the Carviths. Said to be the worst warriors to face. Said to be worse than the warriors from the north.
Wow.
Wow.
You do not want to go against one of their spears. It is not an honourable way to die, because they take their time. A long time. Many a slayer has met their doom there, in the most horrible way. Some are said to still scream. And they all raise a jar to those who were foolish enough to attack the gnomes of Menglith Rutha. They seem utterly innocuous, however. As one at the front saying, "Oh, it's a bird!" Pointing with his spear. "Oh, we're above it!" "Oh, are we now? Where?" The only dwarf who appears to think that this is an amusing outcome is the pilot, who's sitting at a big ship's wheel, almost chuckling to himself as he watches the ridiculous outcome for what he considered to be a fool's errand anyway. Giving a joyride to a gnome king. It doesn't last all that long. Half an hour. Until he's dropped back and he's carried in a litter back into his halls and the burrows down below. "Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you'll remember that, you will. Oh, you'll remember that." Gotrek goes up, nods once, bows, and says, "I faced one of your people once. Never again." Oh, really? Who was it? "What do you look like?" "Oh, come on, what do you look like?" "Beard, must be. Was it a girl?" "Oh, we're done with this." "There's my name we should be going." As Felix looks over and says, "I know I learned how to pilot it, but I'm not meant to, remember? I don't care. I'm drinking with him." As he pulls himself back up. It's been a bad day. But no, actually, it's been quite a good day. Because all of your magical items have been returned.
Including 2 rune fangs?
Including 2 rune fangs. There is a bit of a downside, though. The spirit of Grunye is not designed for humans. And when you tell them where you want to go, because they're nowhere, nowhere to know the algae. "I agree," says Gotrek, as Felix says. "Oh yeah, he refuses to tell you a date. So where do you want to go?"
Middenheim?
Middenheim.
And that is how you all find yourself sitting crunched up in a room that is designed for people around about 4 feet high.
Are slayers widely known?
They're widely known, but what they are is not widely known.
Yeah. Because I don't think Albert could have a clue,
No.
really,
What about
what
those
they
of
are.
us with Lord Dwarfs?
I mean, you've got Lord Dwarves. You're fully aware that these are the lowest of the low rung. They are the worst of the worst. They are those who have so dishonored the people that they have taken an oath forever.
He'll ask the fathers, why are these so different than the dwarves we've seen?
They've. I'm assuming there aren't any slayers like.
In earshot.
Yeah, like.
Why you weird?
Not that they deny it, but I'm about to throw shade at them. But yeah, they're dishonourable. They've done something unspeakable, and they take this oath to. Like,
I
solve
wouldn't.
make up for it.
I wouldn't put it like that. Ever.
It's how they put it.
They're making
But
amends for something.
Dwarfs.
Do they say they?
Oh, they have no honour. None.
That's different from being dishonourable.
Is it?
Fair enough.
Ungy tongues
Maybe
are
it's an
useless
LD
tongues.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite. No, that's exactly how you put it. 100%.
You know more better than I.
So they seek death to atone. Any death. Or
Well, no, like an honourable one, I
Like a
guess.
meaningful-
to try and
Right.
yeah, like a meaningful one, like not. A,
Felix, whom you know, ducks in. He's tall. Not tall by some standards, but certainly he's tall, with shaggy blonde hair
Some might say
and very lean.
perfect height.
And ducks in and says, smiles and then puts his smile away and then smiles again and says, "Welcome to the Spirit of Grunye. he says, thanks for saving our lives. Well, truth be told, they might have done the same in return. Elric has already, he thinks, figured it out. They were lost. They'd probably all be dead. But the dwarves, they just broke the spells with their passage. And the spells just didn't work around them in the way that they would other people. If it hadn't been for them, you'd all be dead. Or captured, or who knows what else, but
Still stuck.
yeah.
Decorating.
As he sits in and says, I have a question. But first, who do I talk to? Who is...
We sort of operate as a collective. Fine.
All right, well, we got some other people on board. He says, 4 other people, actually. All humans, he says, had to be let go. Apparently, because of whatever the deal was. So we've got them as well.
Are they hurt? Gerhard is a doctor.
Oh, no, they seem fine. I mean, maybe one of them's a bit hurt. He says, you ain't got anyone else with you, have
One
you?
of them got an eye patch.
Yeah.
Is there a dog?
Small dog.
Yeah. What you...
No, I don't know them. Chuck them off.
Gotrek!
We know 2 of them.
He says,
4.
are you here? What is it, Maddening? He
Dirty
says,
whistles.
you won your bet. All humans do know each other. He says, as he says, damn it.
I mean, we're looking for 2. We might not know the other 2.
No, we're only
so
looking for 1,
the
really.
bet's on.
And a dog.
Lucas and Sigfrid.
We don't know Sigfrid.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
saw,
do.
he saw it in the vision.
We saw it in a
Oh,
vision together.
sorry,
Lucas was
yeah.
looking after
Those are
Sigfrid.
2.
As he says, I might be able to get something out of that. As he says, they know 2 of them. That means they don't know them all. And you have, nope, I won't. Go get a drink.
Can lead us to them. Can we see them?
They're just down there. He says, at the front.
Right, heading.
I put on my metal gauntlets because he's not going to be happy with it.
Yeah, Lucas can get vicious.
And in this side cabin, which if you were shorter, it would be pretty comfortable looking. But all the seats are just too short. They're super sturdy. They're just too short. And sitting down in there is Lucas. He has his eye patch on, strangely enough. He's sitting down looking quite dishevelled, dirty, his face is a mess, and thinner. On the other side is Sigfeder, who is asleep, curled up, a mess of grey hair matted across his front, and a whole host of relatively fresh wounds across his face. Sitting on the other side is a man you've never met. Don't recognise him at all, so it looks like the bet might still be on. Don't necessarily know all humans. And beside that man is another man you've never met. The first is bearded, dark hair, and is wearing the, you recognise it for exactly what it is. Skaven slave. He possibly is along for the ride.
Yeah.
It's very possible he can't speak any language that anyone else here can speak. He has what you would best describe as a somewhat dopey look on his face.
Yeah, flying through the air is not going to be sitting well with a skaven slave.
But small and close space.
Yeah.
He has the telltale scars across his wrists, although he doesn't have any manacles on. So you think you've already pinned down the first. The second, though, he's not a slave. He's not a slave at all. He's probably noble. You would guess from his general garb, which is tattered, it is torn, and you have no idea what that particular piece of heraldry means. But it almost certainly means something noble and heraldic.
I do have law heraldry.
Maybe you do know it.
I don't have a lot.
And Gerhard will have it, right?
Let's find out.
Let her have this moment.
Yeah,
Let her have this moment. Come on.
Given her the rolling, that seems unlikely.
Crit.
No.
No.
I've got Lord Heraldry.
I got
You're not in yet.
I love
Good
your
time.
optimism.
He is a man that you would guess is in his... crap, you're bad with ages. He's older. Let's say he's older. As he looks up, goes, "Oh, Magdalena, I didn't expect to see you here." He says, and you hear in the background, "I win!"
Magdalene is my mother.
Are you saying that out loud?
I think so. Yeah,
Goes, oh, really?
I believe so.
Huh.
And
My mistake.
And you are, sir?
And you hear, what? Say that again. What? Coming from Felix. I'm not giving the coin back. You hear in the background. Get your hands off the meddling. As he says, but what exactly is happening here? As Lucas looks over and says, no, excuse me. Look, I understand, my lord. There's a lot to say, but Birdie, what on earth? What with all the gods are you doing here?
We're getting a lift.
Yep, you can hear Lucas.
Yeah.
You can hear Lucas in the other room. Is everyone else here?
Yeah, we're getting a
All
lift.
They're
crowding.
all crowding.
We're here to
piece of
rescue
art,
you.
isn't it? Wait a minute. He's asleep. And he pulls out the helm. I got
Ding,
it.
ding, 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 ding.
Is that
Short term for me, anyway.
And for me,
Short term for me is fine.
and finding Lucas is our party short.
And my
Ding, ding, ding,
short
ding,
term,
ding, ding,
my
ding, ding.
short term is find Barakul, which I've done.
Oh!
All the dings.
Yeah.
So many dings at once.
both.
This is the
Yeah.
best skyship ever.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Boom!
No, Andy, yeah.
What?
Oh, there's a noise. Oh, we're going to go down quite quickly.
It's very efficient landing.
Malachi's jumping off.
As he goes, I have quite the tale to tell. Managed to secure it. You can thank me later. He says, is Guard here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through.
I'm quite agile
Yes,
for
you
someone.
are.
Can
You
I
can
go in and like
I mean,
sort of
just
like
get-
sneak
get out
in
the way, just
and
get out the way.
fold up
Just
in a
get out
dwarf
the way.
chair?
Past you.
Lupo will get out of the way so Gerhard.
Alamein and Whiteson sitting in a dwarf chair, folded up.
Birdie leans in and goes, "Where's my dog?"
He says, he'll be upstairs. It's more of a ladder. He didn't want to come down. He didn't like the smell.
She turns on her heel and goes looking for him.
Everyone's in the way.
Get out my
Try
way!
to get out of the way again. You get out of the way. Press as far as he can.
Even if Elric's not near Leopold, he knows his hearing's really good. Leopold, are they who they say they are?
Do they feel like? I mean, I'll do a little. I'm out in the corridor. I'll
Or
do a
even
surreptitious
the,
little augury.
the strangers, especially. I know they haven't said, but like, what's your sense of them?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll do augury on the noble stranger.
So, are you doing checking the bones, or are you just checking their general, are they
Vibe.
good guy, bad guys, augury?
Well, I use the bones to do the augury.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Ow, bones on it.
Lucas is good.
It was the noble.
The
was who I was
noble.
focusing on.
Oh, the noble. Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Good sense.
Yeah.
Good guy.
They're
Good
good
guy.
people.
Yeah. So noble, fine. As you push your way past and go up, you cannot see any sign of meat pie anywhere.
I whistle for him.
Nope.
I keep looking.
Keep looking round. Up on top.
Can Loopold hear a dog?
Nope. Not from where the wind whistling is far too much. Up on top, there's only really one by the ship's wheel, which is big red crest of hair dyed upon his brew. It's slightly grey at the roots. Clearly needs to dye it again. All held up in place with fat, which you can smell. It's
I've
quite.
smelled a lot of smells
It's,
recently.
it's,
It's been
it's
horrible.
almost reminiscent of what you saw in the corridors. Yeah, there's a little part of you that's still feeling that a bit. As he sees you there, he goes, "Hey there, lassie, what are they?"
I'm looking for my dog.
He says, "Dog."
Dog.
Hey. He says, "Here, dog." And he's fine.
Oh, nice.
And sees you
Yes. I've missed you too.
and goes for you.
Yeah. I go back downstairs with him hanging from the wall, looking proud as punch.
Geralt, you'll have to buff this out.
Down below, Lucas and Sleeping Sigfeder and I'm not sure why I'm here and Noble. I suppose I better introduce myself. I suppose.
1 second. Just
No, Let him introduce himself.
I haven't seen. No,
wants
sorry. Pass on
He
this.
wants to do his Lord
Lucas.
Heraldry test.
Hello, nice to see you. I've missed you.
As,
I give
um,
him a hug.
as,
Then I can
Lucas
talk to this man.
Gives you a hug. It's very good to see you again, sir. You appear thinner. Have you been looking after yourself? Have you been eating properly?
Well, no, but you also appear thinner as well. We're both.
Oh, I'm much thinner. He says,
Yes.
it's actually quite hard to find food when one is underground.
Very much so.
They don't have crops or anything.
No.
He said, which one would you have guessed? He says, as the pair of you just
I have
natter away.
missed you.
He says, well, I introduced myself anyway. He says, Amadeus. He says,
Of house.
get out your system.
Of house.
Out your system?
Yeah.
Good. How's Adenauer? He says,
Isn't that Sigfrid?
Yeah, it's sick feathers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Sigfrider of
It
house.
says-
I don't know.
oh, yeah, it's my uncle. He says, I've been looking for him for some time. Been chasing him down.
And you know Birdie's mother, Magdalena.
He looks at her like he feels like he's been trapped.
Yeah.
As he says, well, I don't know if it's a mother. He says somewhat slowly, but possibly. I mean, it might be her. She might have been using a pseudonym. He says, it does look very like her. I wouldn't put it past her to be doing that sort of thing.
There's not many people who look like her.
Yes, but one would expect her mother to be older. Perhaps they age well, the Hellsteins.
Yes, well, perhaps they do. He says, comfortable ship we find ourselves in. Are you the ones for me? I mean, do I thank you?
Oh,
Are
yes.
you responsible?
Absolutely. I am responsible for your freedom.
Huh. And it's funny, as she says that, you can hear the grumbles coming from the back alley.
It's like I said, it's so loud.
You are a tease.
Classic human, Alan.
I prefer Albrecht. I think it fits me better.
It's not about what you prefer, but what's believable.
Yeah. Humans get nicknames, they stick. You're Alan.
You got that Bretonian whiff about you.
Alain.
So, we're in a place where there isn't much space. We've got ourselves, let's call it a cabin. It's somewhere we can sit down. You could sleep along the sides of it if you wish to do so. It's clearly way too small for you. You can't, for example, carry your staffs around with these. They've got to be pretty much just stowed in at the side. Same with giant swords of silliness. Who's got Karak Zornaz, for example? Oh, what's his face?
It's on a
Christ,
shelf.
he can barely move in this place.
He'll just have to sit on deck.
Yeah. No, I just pop up on one of the stowing shelves at the top. It's a very tight space, and it's entirely sealed off with a top part that you can wander around on with much more ease. But it's on the top, and it goes pretty frickin' fast. It has big fins at the back and an engine constantly churning. It also has an odd smell, very oily and slightly acerbic to the nose. For you in particular, it's just not a nice smell. The engines at the back are churning away on something. The Slayers want nothing to do with you. Literally nothing. Because you are involved with the thing that they currently really dislike. Because after all, there's only one thing that Gotrek hates more than almost anything. And that's elves.
There's only one thing he hates more than elves, and that's elves that have just saved his life.
Ooh, the worst. Yeah.
Did you have to say it?
Bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Call me Gotrek's nagging inner voice.
Our
Sit up and
passenger,
then go, Elgie, huh?
our Adenauer, is not exactly chatty. He doesn't want to talk too much. He is quite happy to chat nothings. You know, the classic cup of tea conversation. Where
can
you're
get a
talking
lot
about...
from a cup of tea conversation.
Yeah, you can. The average conversation that circles around what were you doing down there looking for my brother? Why my brother? Sorry.
Oh.
Uncle.
We've learned something already.
Why am I looking for my uncle? Because uncle's missing. I'm looking for him. I found him. Absolutely. How did you know he was down there? Heard rumors. You know, the normal nothing
The
conversation.
normal bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Considering we know how Sigfeder
Lucas is almost the exact opposite. Lucas is all chat. He has quite the chat, including meeting queens and kings of old. And meeting necromancers. The Doomlord, don't you know?
Fresh of mind.
Yeah, quite. You might have heard of him. Yes.
I have a question about Amadeus. You said he had heraldry on him.
Yes.
Does he have a swordfish on him?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
And all in all, an entirely trustworthy guy, along with altogether too chatty Lucas, who is actually enormously relieved. He was quite convinced he was going to be killed because he'd had a really good talk to the gnomes down below. And they had made it pretty clear. Oh no, you're going to die. And that's what they said to me. I'm going to die. And they said that no humans really get through. And then here I am. And I don't really understand it, but I'm rather pleased. I got to bundled up with everyone else and then just thrown in here. I thought actually I was being sent to some sort of execution vessel or something, but no, as it turns out, I mean, no. Here I am. It's
How did
marvellous.
you make it to the hold
We captured. They took us there.
from Brass Keep?
Oh no! I Brass Keep. I have a tale to tell. And he sets to, and it does indeed start with the storm of magic. And his tale's not exactly the most believable of tales. But then again, he's mundane. He can't see through magic. Who knows what it was he did or didn't see? Is it all a dream? Is it real? One thing's certain, the helm he has is real. And he somehow got that from Skaven that he encountered.
Good job.
He slowly but surely spins his way through that. And then what happens afterwards, as he ended up getting pulled down beneath and running away and Skaven everywhere and cultists, and it all went very wrong. He encountered Sigfeder down there. There's a long tale there. It's about halfway through his recounting of trying to nibble different mushrooms and hoping he wouldn't die. Then he's not entirely convinced there wasn't another storm of magic because the things he saw.
Didn't he have his adventures with Sigfeder and the Queen?
No. Sigfeder is not a part of the story that he tells.
Oh, interesting.
He keeps Sigfeder out of it.
Oh.
He says nothing about
Yeah, so
Sigfeder
he- yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
And he meets Sigfeder down there. And it's halfway through that one that Leopold gets another vision.
Surprise!
He's curled up listening to the whole things as it slowly unfolds when his vision hits him, and unlike the last one, it's not the great oracular I see something. It's much like the hammer has fallen. He speaks. I am not Leopold, he says. Leopold, who makes his way to Middenheim, is false. From his own voice. He is something else. Find him. And in Nuln, exactly the same words are spoken. You said that out loud.
And those words were also said in Nuln.
Oh, you don't know that.
Which
You
we
don't.
don't know.
But the voice said, I am not Leopold.
Leopold is going to grab Barracool and run.
First of all, how you're running in the airship.
Well, scurry out.
Scuttling.
Scurry
You
out.
might
Up
be
onto the top.
surprised
Where's
Yeah.
Barry Cool?
as he finishes.
Up on a shelf.
It's up on the shelf. And he reaches up, grabs a sword, and then shudders a shadow and flicks.
Somebody
I
try and
try
stop
and
him.
grab it.
Stop him. I'll try and grab the sword, not him.
Nice try. It's already gone, that
too.
part, but he's moving up towards the stairs. He's out of the
I'll
room.
go.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
probably Alamein will.
Your initiative is way below his.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyone with combat initiative,
Yes.
No.
okay,
What do
can
you mean
react.
combat aware?
Combat aware, pardon me.
Oh, right.
No, it's not combat.
And he's not trying to surprise you.
How about Sixth Sense?
Nose
You'll
for
be,
trouble.
your
Sixth Sense is-
hackles will rise,
Well, Sixth Sense is if you're in danger.
and he's not in
Intensive-
danger.
No danger.
That's fair, but
No.
his hackles will still rise.
Yeah,
Nose for
it's
trouble
creepy.
is spotting potential trouble.
But there was nothing to activate it until it goes.
Well,
If
I
you
mean,
see
we
what
just
mean.
got a massive warning. I am not Leopold.
That's
Yes.
what
That's
comes.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a big,
quite.
Like,
I do have reaction strike, so can I?
If he
can I
moves
react?
into your death zone and you have a weapon drawn,
I was sitting by the stairs.
nice try.
It was worth a try.
Where is the weapon?
Okay, so he's going to get at least to the ladder. Who's going to go pursuing after? Highest initiative first will be Alamein.
Alamein, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
he dives off the side of the airship, arms out, barracool in hand,
Interesting.
as he goes down into the clouds. And you hear, "You're not an idiot!" coming from the wheel. As he sees you. You're next.
Should just look at him. Pull down her masks. Well,
this is guns on it, doesn't it?
You saw it pouring fire down.
can you shoot it?
Says, pulls out his goggles.
She'll run over to the edge and have a look.
Yeah.
It's
Go on.
clouds.
Interesting. I was right.
We were right.
Alamein turns back round. Comes in. She'd taken her scarves off. Who's in the room? Just
At
us
the
two.
moment,
All of us.
it's your party.
Our
Plus
party.
Lucas.
Plus Lucas.
Plus Sakinski, who's sitting right up. Sigfeder is not in here. He's still asleep over in the other room. Your noble pal is through there also. And that leaves Emmanuelle. She won't be in here because she'll have gone running up to the top. She is deeply confused.
Fair.
Yeah. And Geralt, who will be in here because...
Where's the skaven slave?
Oh, he's through in the other room.
Because I still need to
He-
speak to him. at
He
some
literally has no idea what everyone's saying.
Everyone, he's gone. It's gone. And it has barracool.
And how long has it been it?
Well,
This
you should
time?
all sit down. I have some things to explain to you.
Now you tell us.
It all started in Ubersreich when I left the Temple of Verena in Newfalljung and spotted a copy of Gerhard.
Ubersreich.
In Ubersreich.
Ubersreich. In Ubersreich, Alamein is standing, the mountains behind her, the great rise of Castle Newfalljung on all sides. And beside her is Gerhard. And they're looking down on a crowd. Moving through that crowd is Gerhard. As beside you, a man with a long grey beard, hat tucked underneath his arm, says, I'm sorry to say, that looks very like you, my lord, and he's already spoken to your father.
Right. It's not the first one I've seen.
No.
It seems to be sort of a better one. He even walks like me.
Well, I've spoken to him. He doesn't just walk like you, my lord.
Talks like you too.
He knows everything you know.
What do you mean? What?
Well, I've been interviewing those you've been talking to. He knows all of it. Somehow, he knows everything that you know. But it's not human. That one is not human. I've spoken to it already. I've offered him a sale at a local auction house for a book.
And the intent of that?
Your father, he was rather surprised when you came up to have a word with him because he'd already spoken to you. So we had a little talk. We tried to find out which one of you was you, if either of you were you. You're you. This, as he notes down, the one that's just making his way over to the stall over there, is heading to the auction that I organised. That one's not you. So you can be certain in that one.
Does
Safe
he-
in yourself.
Does he know that he's not me?
No. Not that we can discern.
So,
The big thing is that he appears to have... He appears to have no soul. As I would understand such matters.
right. And that's how you know that I am me.
Yeah. That's how I know you're you. But I had an idea. I presented it to your father, and he is quite keen to see it through.
Right.
I'm selling him something.
Okay.
He smiles. A soul. I want to see what happens.
Will it go into him? Will it be...
Oh, if he takes it, he will not be able to stop himself from trying to take every last bit of it within him.
And if he takes it, it will leave him less prone to what I assume.
I don't know. I don't know.
But now he could be possessed if
At the
he has
moment-
no soul.
At the moment, he can be possessed, used, twisted by anyone who knows what it is. It's almost an automaton, but an automaton with a mind, which I don't quite understand. But I want to know what happens. And your father's going to be positioned, so I'm doing it whether you like it or not.
Engels, and I mean this with the utmost respect, this is not one of your sort of...
Oh, I'd love it to be a trick, because
Okay.
it would be quite the trick. But it's not. And I've had a big discussion with Alamein. He says,
Yes.
she is quite convinced that you're something important. I'm not. But she is. I've been interviewing one of your friends. Elric. He's currently in my tower in Ubersreich.
Right. Why?
Well, he says, I can't be him if I don't know him.
Okay. So, explain more.
Oh no. He says,
Oh, the dominoes are starting to fall now.
I have
It's
no
all
real
starting
interest in
to
that at all, I'm
fall
sorry
into
to say.
place. Interesting.
I'm really sorry to say no.
Okay, I suppose that is sort of your thing.
I am not convinced that what this elf says is true, but I am convinced that your father wants to keep you safe. So, he and I have had a discussion, and I'm going to keep you safe. Apparently, you have things you want to do. Looks over at you. You were wittering on about it, what was it?
Your father wants you to hunt down
I know.
those entities. There are some in the north and some in the south. I don't think I can protect you anymore, but maybe I could lay a false trail with this one and go north. Continue the hunt?
If you're with me, no one's ever going to find you.
You
Says-
are talented in these sorts of
Of
things.
course I am.
Much more than I am.
He says, it's something to do. It avoids the war.
Okay.
He
I don't
says,
really like the casual nature of which you're approaching this, but I can
all
understand
right,
your
it's
position.
something to do.
Better.
But it avoids the war. Do you prefer that one?
Somewhat, yes, actually, yes. Alamein sort of, it was the end of the world if somebody found me, and that was very much the end
You
game.
have
and now,
never stopped talking since you were a child.
No, I am told that is a little bit of a character flaw.
You
but-
remind me of your father.
See, that people keep telling me. People who I wouldn't expect to know my father. He says, pointedly looking at Alamein of that time. I don't see how it works. I don't see.
Well, you didn't know him when he was young. He says, and when he was young, he was very like you.
Hmm.
Not entirely sure you find that likely to believe, given just how...
No, I still don't.
Yeah.
Big liar, big liar. Right.
Exactly.
Right. So, what are we doing? We're going south then.
My master is in Nuln as well. I think when you get there, you will be even safer.
And who is your master?
The one who trained me.
No, I understand that as a concept.
Have I given his name?
No.
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 Well, you don't need to know his name, so much as know that he will be there and he knows to look out for you. You won't even see him.
Right. So he's
If you
aware of-
think Engel approaches things with a sardonic, laissez-faire attitude, then you might explode if you met my master. I will protect you from that.
Fine. Sounds like something I don't want to deal with.
And he says,
Right. Well then, while we're there,
I quite like the idea of hunting cultists.
yes, there's that, but there's also
And
I have my
smiles.
own aspect I wish to pursue.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But we're going to hunt cultists.
Yes. Do you know anything about how to heal the mind or anything like that?
Oh, no.
No, I wouldn't think you do.
He says, no.
Maybe there's
And if
something
you're
there.
concerned about your mother, he shakes his head. You wouldn't be alone.
Maybe that's something I can fix.
Perhaps it is. He says, perhaps it is.
There's a big Shalian temple in Nuln, right?
Yeah,
It's
there
a
is.
centre of...
Mm.
There is a very large Shalian temple in Nuln. I visited there often with my friends.
I don't trust the word friends, but I'm sure you have.
People I worked with to
Right, a
make
large
sure they were
hospice attached
healthy.
to it as well for the mind.
They were the only people that would care for them. There's a large hospice that looks into matters of the mind.
Okay, then that's where I will start. Do you know anybody good for getting married to down that way?
The Countess is famously...
No, she's too.
What?
Well, I mean, I suppose I could.
You could give it a shot. I
I
believe
could
in
try, maybe.
You've trained for this.
Just play the movie Hitched.
Your other version has done pretty well for herself.
And Alamein explains, with Gerhardt in the room, that Gerhardt is not Gerhardt. And says it bluntly to his face, as Lucas goes, oh.
Oh, shit.
I
So
can
do
get-
we kill him now?
No,
Whoa.
because as I moved north, I started, and the reason I have not told you this before until it left was because the words could be heard by anyone. And as I moved north, I started to realize that, well, started to-
Alamein is in the cabin of the foot shover, rocking backwards and forwards slightly with a candle in front of her. The candle is made of grey wax and it's short. And she's looking at it, and it's quite clear she's not sure what she's going to say. She very recently learned that Leopold, the Leopold that she'd known, wasn't Leopold. The Leopold that had gone through Castle Wittgenstein wasn't Leopold. The Leopold who had seen everything, who had witnessed Sigmar's miracles, was not Leopold. Because Leopold came back. Marguerite's on the vessel. Elric's not liking this at the moment. Everything is a little bit upside down, and she's in a state of sheer panic. Because Leopold, the other one, might find Gerhard. Just might find Gerhard, and he would never know. Ever. She looks at the candle, and the knock comes at the door. It's Leopold. At least he came, like she asked. All she did was whisper underneath her voice, please come to the room. And he has.
and winked. He couldn't see that because he has no eyes.
And
I heard her eyelids move. Just the one.
the candle is lit. And she knows she has a scant few minutes. The candle she was given by Engels. If she ever needed to be quiet, so that no one else could hear, it was actually intended for speaking with Gerhard. To cover the fact that he was the real Gerhard in this house, should that ever happen, so that they could have a private conversation. But she has chosen instead to use it with Leopold.
We don't have much time. Got till that candle burns down, and then I cannot say anything this, and neither can you ever repeat this again.
All right.
Inub is right. I sent Gerhard to Nuln. The real Gerhard. I found a copy who had all of his memories, and I panicked, and his father found out, and Christoph Engel, the Lord Magister, and his father and I agreed that Engel and my master would be better at protecting Gerhard. than anyone else.
So that's not my friend.
That is not your friend. That is a copy.
And you don't understand why.
I don't understand why. I don't understand how.
There's a lot of
But
that going
as
around
we've
right
moved
now.
north, your visions have become stronger, and the copy is in all your visions. But so is the other one. I don't know which is important, but since the bull, we've been followed by a double of you. And I can protect this Gerhard, but if he finds out that there is another one and goes south, that Gerhard will be defenseless against him. His friend will be coming with his friend's face. I don't know what to do.
So I'm putting him at risk just by being here. Well, I mean, I suppose I have to go then, right?
I think so. I can protect this Gerhard. I can watch watch out for signs of the double. Hopefully, we've seen it off. But what if we've seen it off because it realised this wasn't the right one, and it's going south even now?
I guess I have to go to Nuln then, right?
Yes, but you have to have a reason to go, because what if it's listening? It can't hear in here.
So we have to have a cover story for it to believe. Because I could see what it could see, so it can see what I can see.
And we can't tell anybody else.
Right. Okay.
Candle is beginning to flicker as it drops down to the bottom.
I mean, I can just a pilgrimage. I'll go walk in Sigmar's footsteps
To the south.
to the south.
Yes, you have done bad things. You let Birdie kill all those mutants.
Yeah.
Maybe mutter something about that. And you need to have a pilgrimage. You need to go south in Sigmar's footsteps. Leave it at that. Don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Say that you've let down. I don't know. I won't. No, don't complicate it. Don't complicate it.
It disappears. The flame is gone, and with a puff of smoke, the whole candle vanishes. The remains of it stand also.
Just nod.
So what does Leopold do?
He goes to his little shrine to have a little prayer.
Says a little prayer for you.
Yeah. Sigmar, I don't know why you've gifted me with this vision, this power. I feel unworthy for it, but I can't. I don't know what to do, how to speak your words. I feel like I'm not living up to what's needed. I need to go. I'm making things worse here. I'm putting everyone at risk. I have to find my center. I'm gonna go on a pilgrimage. I'm gonna walk in your footsteps as I used to. Maybe that will help me find my way again. I think that's what I need. I need to go. But I can't tell them. Gerhard will be devastated. So I'm just gonna go in the night while they sleep.
So Alamein explains that Leopold left in the night. It's what happened the next morning that was particularly disturbing, because Leopold was still there. Leopold was still there. She watched him go. Leopold was still there. So she continued what she believed was the ruse, the fake Gerhard, leading the shadow away, keeping everything safe.
She'll also explain, and I knew the fake Leopold's visions were true because real Leopold had told me that when they walked from the Demon's Bowl, they had shared the visions. So it could not deny Sigmar's prophecies.
So what is it? Like, if it is still connected?
I honestly don't know, Ume.
Down in Null, Father Leopold is having a vision of the shadow who has dropped down from the sky into the place that he had found. And he is happy, so very happy. He has Barakul in his hand, the only weapon he thinks that might be able to do it. Karak Zornas would have done.
barracudas later.
Practical.
Love it.
He drifts down on shadowy wings and alights inside the dwarf hold. Dwarves are everywhere. He just darts between them and makes his way back to the portal he had walked through just 4.5 days earlier. It's all closed, but he's got something that can open it. And he pushes the blade into the stone and reopens the portal that he knows goes to Albion. And as the rune blade hits the bottom, it goes through. He judders, and shudders, and judders as the body collapses. And a shadowy spirit rises out with wings and a great 8-pointed star carved into its chest as it drifts through into the paths that connect to Albion. And the spirit goes seeking a body, an imprisoned body. The portal, as Leopold sees, stays open because it's been cut. He takes the blade with him, though.
Damn it.
Back on the ship, there is a couple of big changes here. Number one, Leopold partly isn't Leopold. Number two, Gerhardt partly isn't Gerhardt. Number three, Elric's fine. Birdie's fine. Yume's fine. But Alamein has one last big thing that she has, over the course of time, come to realise about Gerhardt.
Over you, Gerhardt, are walking the prophecy. The Gerhardt that went to Nuln is not the one. It's you. And I came to realize that as Leopold had vision after vision and you walked with us on this journey. I think the book worked. I think you're free from whatever your creators wanted you to be.
It's a lot
What?
to take in.
But I'm not. The memories I have, they're not mine. They're something else. So I'm not me. And he'll go. He'll stomp to the room next door. Just fucking boot Sigfeder.
As an eye opens
I know you're fucking awake.
as he looks at you and he says, what the fuck was that for?
Because I know you're awake.
I might be a bit awake. He says, I'm fucking now awake.
Yeah.
And you hear, Uncle. Oh, fuck off. He's not here, is he? Oh, fuck. What you done to your face? He says, I got older. All right. Oh, what was that?
I'm just a blank person.
He says, oh no, you're a fat boy.
No.
There's all manner of spirit in
I
you.
slap him across the face.
Ow! He twists round. No, what I'm saying is that you're not that skinny little nothing that you think you are. You got a big fat spirit in you. Fuck knows what you are.
But you knew as well, yeah?
And you what?
That I wasn't a real person.
Alright, I was listening then. He says, excuse me, shut up. Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle. He says, I knew the thing. The Gausser told me. He said there was something up here. I was meant to figure it out. Oh, things got out of hand. He says,
Understatement of the year.
Right.
like, really out of hand. I've seen things,
Okay.
felt things, and seen other things. But I know. Do you mind if I have a nap? He says, don't slap me again, please. I won't take kindly to it.
He'll stomp back through to the other room.
Right, see ya. What's going on, Uncle? Oh, fuck off. He says, as Lucas is just sitting there. What does it mean?
Don't worry, you're still in blood.
So,
Hello. Says Lucas.
oh, I thought he was in the other room with us.
No.
Right.
He heard the
Oh,
whole thing
okay,
in
fine.
the room with you. You've come back and he's just sitting there. Yeah, hello.
Wait, sorry, was he with Sigfest?
No,
No,
wasn't.
he was
Right,
with us.
he was with
Right,
you.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
come
Just,
back.
just to
apologies.
clarify,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
there. He's seen the whole thing, and he's looking somewhat dumbfounded. I've seen worse.
Do you... And I just need to clarify this piece between...
I had a civil conversation with the Doom Lord. I'm sure I'll be fine.
No, Ed needs to
He
clarify,
says,
Ed
yes.
needs to clarify this. The conversation, because we did two...
So, this
which-
is something you might not know. We had a failure in recording when we did the conversation between him and his dad. I'm quite happy.
Those now really happened,
They
basically.
happened. Both of them. One of them happened off screen, and he knows what happened in it.
Yeah. Which one's the one that was really good with Lucas?
The one that was really good with Lucas was the other one, not you.
Oh, yeah, of course, he fucking gets...
The one that
Yeah.
was recorded, the one that everyone's seen, that's you.
Okay, fine.
Looks
Right.
like I'm not the only proof of concept in the room then. Good to know.
No. Do these people... this ship, does it have any alcohol on it? Does it have any booze on it?
I have
They've been
very
drinking
strong
steadily.
elven wine.
Probably in the galley at the back, but there's a lot of dwarves.
Okay, I'd like to do some drinking.
Would you like me to make introductions?
I don't care. That'd be
I'll do
good.
that.
In
As
fact-
he goes off to try and find something to do.
Lucas, I don't even know who I am, so you could try it and see what happens. Just see what comes out of your mouth.
And he pauses. Excuse me. A whole bunch of red-dyed dwarves turn round. Felix is sitting there with his hand on his face. I would like to introduce you all to Jerry the Badger.